secondary is balling out. Your offense keeps stalling out. How many yards? Like none at all. Call the special teams, don't punt the ball and it's gone. And you never see me fair catch. I get a block and then I'm gone like a Learjet. My helmet on, pass strap tight. My jersey shining in them Friday night lights. Win, we just came to win.
It's the 3rd Annual Small Business Expo, and you're invited this Saturday, November 30th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the James W. Warren Citizen Center in Lincoln, sponsored by Turner Hauser Insurance Group. There will be 60 vendors, and Santa Claus will be there from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m., and photos will be available for purchase. The event is open to the public with no admission fee, all hosted by Wendy Peeler. And join Tim Johnson and Ken Link for a live all-day broadcast on The Boss, WLON, 107.5 FM and 1050 AM. They'll be broadcasting live from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. So make plans to be there. The 3rd Annual Small Business Expo at the James W. Warren Citizen Center, 115 West Main Street in Lincoln. Sponsored by Turner Hauser Insurance Group. Again, it's free, and the best part, you're invited. Christmas is a time for kids, and once again this year, Renato Auto Mall in Shelby is working to make this Christmas a little brighter for the underprivileged kids in our area with their annual Christmas toy drive. Now through December 14th, you are invited to bring a new, unwrapped Christmas toy and drop it off. For Toys for Tots, drop it off at Renato Honda, and for the Salvation Army, drop it off at Renato Kia. Better yet, drop a toy off at both locations. Help make this Christmas a little brighter during the annual toy drive at Renato Honda and Renato Kia, both at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
The $1,000 Christmas cash giveaway is back, and you could be the winner of $1,000 from KTC Broadcasting and the What's Up Shopper. All you have to do is register at one of our participating merchants, including All Ray Tower on East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, Century Drug on East Main Street, Boger City, Mountain Holiday on West Mountain Street in Kings Mountain, at Future Energy Company, West Graham Street in Shelby, at Deja Vu Consignments on Main Street in downtown Cherryville, at Parker Farm Service on Bessie Drive, Kings Mountain, Honda Motorcycles of Shelby on East Dixon Boulevard, at Pro Wellness Chiropractic Center, North Aspen Street, Lincoln, at West End Sales, Highway 18 North in Bell, and at Taco El Novato Mexican Restaurant on East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. The drawing will be held Friday, December 20th. Business qualifiers will win a Christmas teddy bear. Entry rules may vary from store to store. Don't miss the annual $1,000 Christmas cash giveaway from KTC Broadcasting and the What's Up Shopper.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Golf Shop Radio, Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet in Clover, South Carolina. Now through December 15th, get up to $1,500 in instant rebates with the purchase of qualifying American Standard equipment from Bill Shuford Heating and Air in Shelby. But that's not all. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months. Come on in or call for all the details at 704-484-0025. Again, up to $1,500 in instant rebates on qualifying American Standard equipment and special 0% financing up to 72 months. Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Online at BillShufordHVAC.com. Now's the time to buy your new Kubota from Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Right now, pay zero money down. Get 0% APR financing for 60 months. Come on in now for all the details. All for good on the Kubota BX Series, the Kubota B Series, the Kubota L Series, and the Kubota MX Series tractors. Again, zero money down and 0% APR financing for 60 months. Get your new Kubota today at Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain.
welcome to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. We got the Burns Bulldog in the house. We got the man who hunts with the Yanceys, the Hastings, the one and only, and the legend Terry Ronhart.
Is that like the British Bulldog, Tom Sinafani? Is that what? Do you know who the British Bulldog is?
I said the Burns Bulldog,
Right.
not the British.
Right. Do you know who the British Bulldog is?
No idea.
Yeah. I know Tommy knows who the British Bulldog is.
The British Bulldog back in the 80s wrestling days.
That's what Tom used to look like the British Bulldog back in the day.
I look more like...
He would beat up no muscles.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
That's who I'm thinking about.
Yeah, Brutus the Barber. Remember the shears he used to have? Brutus the Barber. It was awesome. 80s wrestling was awesome.
Real quick while we're at it, for a little fun here to start the show off, there's been arguments this week about the Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Oh, my, come on.
Who does it have to be?
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
Well, you got to put Hulk Hogan on there. You got to put Ric Flair on there. You got to put
Terry
Macho Man.
Terry says Andre. Now, Tom. Everything. A lot of ones I saw had Stone Cold on there.
Stone Cold's got to be on there.
A lot of the ones did not have Hogan on. There's a lot of people that don't like Hogan just because who he is. So they've discontinued.
John Cena, come on,
Hunter.
Cena.
He's about 37th.
No,
on whatever list you're
John
making.
Cena might be one of the most famous wrestlers outside the Rock, name wise.
Hunter. Well, and I would say, in the four that I would go with, I would say
I would have put Stone Cold.
Would be Andre.
No, Andre the Giant would be the one.
Hulk,
He'd have to be on there.
Flair, and the Undertaker.
You got to put. Ooh, yeah.
I know he's not top four.
Stone Cold would be close.
Yeah, I don't think you top. How do you top the Undertaker?
Yeah.
When that glass shatters.
They're in my whatever they're on my Mount whatever's not Rushmore, smaller hill. What's that? Battle of Hog Hill. They're on my Mount Hog Hill. Is Stone Cold and The Rock and Sting and Macho could be the next four.
All right,
we got that covered. All right, I know what you all tuned in for was football last night.
No, I thought we were going to continue the wrestling talk.
Well, we can if you want. Who do you got in the women's division this week?
What?
let's go back to the high school.
Me. Oh, so, well, Tom, that's not what everybody turned in for.
I know.
Well, we got NFL football. We've got NBA action.
Ooh, wow, that's
Our golf shop
three
started
letters
over.
I was not prepared for.
Came from
look at that one.
The great state of Ohio.
Look at that one. I love it. If you're watching on YouTube,
right.
Folks, today let me tell you a little bit of
free shirt
right there.
Pittsburgh started it. Is the shirt Tom has. I love it.
Terry,
Terry,
just because you had every nickel you ever meant and don't buy KT shirts, don't mean that mine
He
is
spent all
free.
of his on Charlotte Catholic hats, Tom.
He does.
My Lord.
At least I'm a loyal fan.
We got all these helmets.
I will say this,
Terry, you ain't got no room to talk this weekend. No.
If we get to
Why should I not have room to talk? I got plenty of room to talk. We are still in first place.
Terry, if you get to talk
Who,
about
State?
Boston,
The Dallas Cowboys still
Hold
in
that
first.
no, but
hot
Terry, I'm going
ale.
to say, switching gears. I know we're going to talk about it later, but the Celtics look good with Walker in that game against Brooklyn. I saw a little bit of that. I said, man, they look pretty
We got
good.
beat last night, though.
Of course, they're playing for the right to get destroyed by whoever wins the West.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the East.
The only thing I like was Smart last night when they were talking to him. He said, "I'm getting so tired of hearing Kyrie Irving." He said,
They were giving him. Oh my God!
I'm gonna tell you, he really put it to him. He said, every time I come in here, that's all I hear. He says, Kyrie Irving's not here. He's not here no more. He's not going to be here no more. Mm-hmm. This is a different group of guys. I mean, he was letting them have
But
it.
the fans were shouting, "Where is Kyrie?"
The Boston fans?
Oh my God! The Boston fans were all over. Did he not show up? Was he not?
Signs,
yeah, that's what it was,
signs
yeah.
saying Kimba over Kyrie.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll get to that later. You want to do the sports?
Real quick, I got in an argument with a guy on Twitter about when Kimba came back to Charlotte. You know, everyone under 25 thinks Kimba's the greatest basketball player of all time, like, you know, they think LeBron is. So I have to explain to him that, you know, there were players before Kimba Walker they're actually better than Kemba Walker at basketball and actually won things for the Charlotte Hornets.
Kelly Tripucka.
Well, that's what.
Kurt Rambis.
But
you got to give them some help.
Earl the Pearl Campbell.
Terry, all right, Terry says give them some help, and that's what Hornets fans say. The Raptors last year won the NBA championship with 0 lottery picks. Do you know how many the Hornets had on the lottery picks, counting Kemba Walker?
I was like 9.
9.
Well, I can't.
What kind of help, Terry, do you need?
Pick nobody.
You got 9 lottery picks, and the,
Well,
and the
see,
Raptors
that's
win the
front office.
championship.
GM,
I've got
that's
enough.
front office
I've got you an all-time Hornet, Tim Kempton.
I don't even
Awesome.
know.
You don't even know Tim Kempton. Do you remember Tim Kempton?
I remember Tim Kempton.
So if we're going, first of all, if we're going to the park and we're picking up, this is the way I like to do basketball comparisons. Like anytime, like look, throw all the rules out. Let's go to the park and play. I'm taking Baron Davis and Kemba over Kemba at the park. Ain't nobody telling me Kemba's taking Baron Davis at the park.
No, Baron Davis is taking him to the hole every time. Every time.
But anyway, the best Hornet that everybody keeps forgetting, and it just drives me crazy, Terry, is Glenn Rice. He was the All-Star MVP with Michael Jordan in the game. He won a playoff series. Hornets have only won 2 playoff series in the history of the league, and he won one of them. So how do you top All-Star MVP?
I think
when
his
Kemba's
son
the only
plays.
reason he made the All-Star team was they took centers out and started playing 5-point guards. And he didn't make it until one of those 5 got hurt, and he got to be the 5th point guard. And then 2 of them moved east. One of those was John Wall. That's the spot he took.
Yeah, but this is what I have to say.
But
on
he's
that,
good.
Though. Like,
He's great. But what I'm saying
he's
is
all-star
he's not
talent. He
Glenn
just
Rice.
plays. He's all-star caliber talent. He just plays in such a league that's so guards heavy. It's hard for him to get recognition when everybody wants to talk about the Kyries and the Kyle Lowrys
There's
and the John
a couple
Walls in the
100,000
East.
6-foot-tall, really good basketball players on this
I know.
planet
I
that
know.
aren't in the NBA.
Oh, I
Think
know.
about because the taller you get, the less gene pool it is to be able to play. There's a lot of people that say like Gabe DeVoe from Clemson. He might have the ability to play. If he was 7 foot tall, he would be more skilled than the other 7-footers. But you're not 7 foot tall, and there's a lot of people.
That's why a lot of the guys that hit growth spurts that are playing guards early in high school,
Giannis.
like and Anthony Davis was a point guard in high school till he hit a growth spurt his senior year. I mean, they turn into the big guys that you see now that kind of have handles and can shoot the outside shot.
Well, there was people that come around, and people always question. I always say, look at the guys who didn't make it, but then when you go back to state, Chuck Nevitt played in the NBA for a while, just on account of his height.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people did. I mean, I was about to go to a couple of Tar Heel centers. They ran 7-footers out there for a few years. That you made NBA rosters. But anyway, that's the scouts.
Yeah.
We talking with a little bit about Keyone Pryor last night, riding up the hill. Tom, about scouting, like the GMs or the scouts and these coaches. It's easier for me as everyone has to remember these people's jobs are on the line. So we talked Kaepernick and recruiting and things like that. And my thing is you guys need to follow whose job is on the line. So if I'm a scout and I go to Nick Saban and I'm like, so I got Raquelin Mack, he's 5'11", 220 pounds, or I got this other kid who's 5'8" and $155 and really fast. If they're it's their job, that's their scout. So if that doesn't work out, what's he supposed to do to go to the coach like that? And they're in those positions all the time, and it's unfair to the kids. But that's how you end up with really good players in the other leagues, like Romo in Eastern Illinois and Steve McNair at Alcorn State, and players that slip through the system like that.
Or where did Jerry Rice go to? Mississippi Valley State?
Yeah, he was somewhere deep down in the valley.
Chad Johnson and T.O. went to Chattanooga. Randy Moss went to Marshall.
Yeah, but he was supposed to go to Notre Dame.
That's true. But
He was. Yeah, well, it was either Notre Dame or Florida State.
We should have went App, Tom. That's what he should have done.
Did you guys watch?
Dang it! We almost got.
Did you watch that special on Randy Moss when he was playing? There was a couple other pro guys
Rand
on
University.
that team. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that was
that's
great.
great.
Randy.
But I'm just telling you, him and them big old shoulder pads back in the early 2000s,
Yeah, but
he was
when
still
show
outrunning
they
them
show
big,
his
huge
highlights.
pads.
He was a
really
walking
good.
highlight reel.
Yeah, he does. He does a good job with his commentating too. That I remember.
I love it. I love listening to Randy talk.
He does a good job.
got
He's
the
got that
accent.
kind of.
He's got that
accent.
Yeah.
He's from
West
country.
Virginia.
Yeah,
it's
and
weird.
guess what? Hey, Terry, this is a fun fact for you. He's a Tar Heel fan.
I'm glad for him.
Is he really?
He really is.
Yeah.
Growing
the
up,
Marshall
growing
Thunder-
up, he
oh,
was,
okay.
he was a North Carolina Tar Heel fan.
Brady went to Marshall.
Does that give y'all warm fuzzies?
All right, you want to hit the scores?
Yeah,
Let's
last night in North Carolina, we had some football, and the most important score, I think, Tom, is the Mountaineers' victory, 48-13 over Troy. What? What?
I thought we was gonna do.
You
I
said
thought
North Carolina football, and I said the Mountaineers.
Only the selfish Mountaineers would try to draw attention
What?
to themselves when
What?
we're having high school playoff football.
What kind of shirt does Terry have on? He can't reel his eyes to me right now.
I do have Appalachian on, but it don't say Football Road on it.
I think that's even
You got
more
an Adrian
embarrassing.
Dale jacket on from Kings?
Maybe
I think that's just as
he's doing pretty
embarrassing.
good, by the way.
Appalachian basketball. Why would you wear that? Did I remember for weeks
I
they
see
was
you put on Carolina jerseys every day, and I wonder why you wear that.
I don't even own a Carolina jersey.
Terry,
But they
he
were the
says that,
laughing-
and he pulls for 9 teams.
no,
Which basketball team you pulling for today,
What are you
Hunter?
talking about? I'm a North Carolina Tar Heel basketball fan.
He's a
Have
Georgia-
been since I was a baby.
And he's a Georgia football fan.
And I like Georgia. And I like North Carolina.
Who's your
football.
favorite women's volleyball team in college?
Overranked team.
I don't know.
Florida State. That's my favorite volleyball team.
Yes, you're right.
All right, Tommy wants to give some like high school scores, I think.
That's right.
Is that what you want to do, Tom? Now that's not all we came here for. Now we got a break coming up.
gotta
We're going to
do
give the
these in-
scores,
in
then we'll
order.
come back in a
Do
minute.
the 1As.
All right,
Okay, I'm gonna
over in the 4A,
I'm gonna start over here. The 4.
Vance.
We'll do the locals. And we'll do it. Okay, Burns over North Lincoln, 30-27.
He wanted to say that one.
The Shelby Golden Lions, and it was close for a while, Terry, with the Rebels. Like we all say, it was close for a while, Terry, like for a quarter or so. But it ends up 42-7.
It was 14-7 at
Kings
one point.
Mountain Mountaineers. I know Kevin and I, we were talking about that. They win 17-10, but I was like, AC's going to get rolled, but I was wrong, and I'll let you talk about that game. I really thought Kings Mountain would go up there and have a dominant performance, but AC Reynolds better than I gave him credit for. Catholic, 42-7.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I just didn't expect them to roll West Rowan like that. And you know, the Kings Mountain Mountaineers are coming to town next. You know, we'll talk about, do they have a chance? Weddington over Northwest Cabarrus, 49-7. And, you know, the fighting Chris Blanton's up there at Watauga, former Burns principal, now up there at Watauga, 35-13. Another local product. Seth Freeman was coaching the baseball team up there.
Oh, okay.
So there's some connections there to this area, to Watauga. They win 35-13, but now they get to pay a visit to Weddington as they're going to sled down the mountain to Monroe, and it's probably going to be tough sledding, Terry.
It will be.
All right, so one of you guys want to give the next board?
I take care of him. I didn't get to see. I don't know what JP's doing.
It's Coach Pruitt.
He's doing
probably
some
on the
type
phone.
of dance.
No,
Some type of dance.
Who's on the phone?
Mountain Island Charter.
Will B's on the phone.
Hey, you can't eat your breakfast on the phone, Will, so we'll get to you in a minute. East Surrey is 26-14 over Mountain Island Charter. They'll be facing off against Mitchell. Who did that board, Terry?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, did Andre forget to do the board?
Yeah.
I was about to say, that is not Andre's writing.
No.
Mitchell, we had a busy day yesterday with the What's Up Shopper. So Mitchell, we got one coming out next week. 38-6 over Swain County. They'll play East Surrey versus Mitchell. And Thomas Jefferson beats Elkin 35-14. Coach Pruitt called in last night. He was up at that game. Robbinsville, they'll go to Robbinsville, who won 24-13. Over in the 2A, West Stokes won on the road 28-22. And Reedsville holds it home 24-7 over Brevard. West Stokes beat Mountain Heritage.
And I was going to talk to some of the Mitchell County folks. They came down and played Burns in basketball and girls basketball. Boys didn't play because both teams were in the playoffs. But they seem to feel pretty good about their chances. They've got a really strong
Swain
team.
County beat Bessemer by about 40 and then turned around and lost 38-6. So I would guess Mitchell's got a pretty decent football team on that end.
You know, they've got a good program.
So the story of my here's your fun college story, Tom. Story of my college freshman year girlfriend versus roommate. Ragsdale and Grimsley both played last night from Greensboro. So East Forsyth beat Ragsdale. That was my roommates, 34-21. My girlfriend's team in college won. She won 32-8 over
Hold on a second.
Glenn.
Terry, did he just bring up his old girlfriend from college
listen,
on the
Kind of
radio?
got
Listen,
lost.
listen,
on this right there.
listen. That's just what happens. But that's just funny at those
You have
schools.
to make it relatable.
I had to sit there in freshman year and listen to these people talk about these schools for
just gonna tell you,
freaking so long.
Terry, I wonder if Kevin has a fold-out couch couch at home because you're probably gonna need it tonight.
Tom, I pay the rent. I mean the what's it called? The mortgage. There you go. Dutch Fort 45-20 over Carolina Forest. Dorman 30-6 over Gaffney. Vance 35-7 with Forsyth, and Richmond Senior over Myers Park 35-32.
Just want to say, my buddy Randy Birch down there at Gaffney, they had a great season. I think they knew they got by Burns last week. Terry, I know you kept up with that, and they just had a really, really great team this year. But just Dorman is just really dominant. I think they knew what they were up against when they were going down there because they really celebrated that Burns victory. It's too bad they come up short, but Gaffney had a really good season this year.
JP, is Will on the ball? All right, we'll go to Will, then we'll go to break. Will is not here eating his biscuit, Terry. I don't know what's going on. I
know what's going on. It's a generational thing. I think the generation cut off was like the year after I was born, Will. So you're actually in that next generation.
Doesn't even text say he's not coming to get his biscuit, Terry.
Good job, Will.
Oh my Lord Jesus! Will you old folk quit talking about it? Generational things going on.
Well, I think what the thing was is I insulted the Packers, and so Will just quit his job.
That's what it was.
What? No,
He called in on my show and interrupted my Packers, talking about my Packers. He can't even disrespect. It's a football show, a high school football show. Now, if he'd have disrespected them today, of course it'd have been fine. But no, he called on the high school football show, and the first thing out of his mouth is the Packers suck.
I couldn't figure out. No, actually it wasn't, but I couldn't figure out what it was. We were talking about NC State. We were talking about unicorns and fairies and all this stuff, and I'm like, I thought this was a high school football show, Will. That's what I called it. And Terry's got a disgusted look on his face still today.
I wasn't talking about NC State and UNC playing today. That would have been that generation that was on the high school football.
I think Dennis brought that one up, didn't he? Didn't Dennis bring that one up? Yeah,
I would imagine.
Yeah, Dennis brought that one up. So I just hammered everybody. So I do apologize to you, Will, if I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings so bad that you wouldn't show up for work today. I'm sorry about that. That's okay.
I don't think the Lord meant for me to come because I had a few words I was wanting to give you, so I'm gonna give them to you anyway.
Okay, that's fine. I'm waiting.
You pull for the Cleveland Browns.
Amen.
And you own YouTube with a shirt that says Pittsburgh started it. And your guy Myles Garrett had no business slamming a quarterback 5 clicks after the play was gone.
Well, first of all, that's nonsense. It was if you don't want to get tackled, go be a ballerina or something. I mean, it's football. You get tackled. Okay. All right,
that was not a tackle. He knew the play was gone.
He's used to not. You can't touch Aaron Rodgers at all.
I will say this. Once you swing a helmet at somebody, well, all bets are off. I mean, if somebody spits on you and you hit him in the head with a crowbar, I mean, it's kind of you've lost the moral high ground. I will admit that.
I'm defending every action Myles Garrett took.
If you spit on me and I hit you in the head with a crowbar, you lucky. That's all I do.
Yeah, but you can. Okay.
He's defending Myles.
It's kind of funny if it's Myles Garrett. You know, everybody's going to come out. But if it was me, I would have done the same thing. You know, it's one of those things where when you're on national TV and about 3 million people watching, you can't take somebody's helmet off and hit him in the head with it. But at the same time, Rudolph should have been suspended. Now, turns out his coach de facto suspended him because he is terrible. I mean, he's not good. And then he tries to start a fight when he's got 3 big offensive linemen around. He's like that kid in high school. Did you ever have that kid in high school that always wanted to start a fight when the other big guys were around, but if he's by himself, that he never wanted? That's Mason Rudolph. Like he was more aggressive because Big Pouncey's here and a couple other guys were here. So now I'm gonna look like a tough guy on national television, and then Garrett took the bait. And unfortunately, you can't take the bait, and that's what happened. But anyway, we did have a question in from an earlier caller. Will change the subject a little bit. They want to know what time the Chargers played last night. Is that a dig at you?
We didn't give that score. They want to know what that score was.
I've been pulling for Burns.
I know you have, because your cousin,
really hard.
because your cousin's been out there playing. But that did not come from me. That came from, the guy who owns the show. So that was Kevin Hastings. There.
I didn't ask the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. That came from that.
Ask Kevin what time the Yellow Jackets play.
Yeah, what time the Yellow Jackets play?
The exact same time the fourth place Cleveland County team plays this year.
First place in Gaston County, so it don't make any difference.
But
listen, Will, being the shiniest turd in the toilet bowl still makes you a turd. You still stink.
Well, I did want to ask you. I know we're bouncing around a little bit. What did happen to your Packers? I was pulling for them, and they just got annihilated.
Oh, they got mollywopped. They was demolished. They were outgunned. That was the game to see was the 49ers for real, and they for real.
And it looks like, if you ask me, I'll get this in. Does it look to you like it's going to be a 49ers-Ravens Super Bowl? Because I watched both of those teams in prime time and just absolutely dominant performances. And I know that Cleveland's got to play Baltimore again. I'm going to tell you, I don't want to play them the way Lamar Jackson's playing right now. The defense is playing well. I mean, it looks like might be – everybody still keeps talking about the Patriots. It's not going to surprise me if Baltimore goes up there and beats the Patriots again.
Right. I don't think the field up there in New England has a chance to be a factor. And I think the factor is Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's a generational player. He's got every vote for MVP right now, and deservedly so. 49ers.
When's the last time an MVP won the Super Bowl?
Will. Now, I'm sitting here listening to y'all talk about Lamar Jackson going to up there at New England and winning a game. That is
he's already done it once
the craziest thing that I have ever seen when it comes to playoff time. That is the hardest place for you to win a game. If Lamar has to go up there, they get beat and they go home.
No. The problem of playing in New England is...
I don't think so.
The problem...
Their offense is too profound and their defense is too profound. They got a complete team. New England's offense is not playing as well. Their defense is playing good. But they had no answer for him as well.
Everybody thought Mahomes was going to be last year,
What was the score in the Super Bowl? 13-3. So before we poo-poo Belichick's defense that's averaging 10 points a game
what
this year.
What they did to him one time will not happen again.
He's got tape on him.
Exactly. And last year, we talked about, Mahomes, he'll be the one to go up there. Well, you know what? Heck no, that didn't happen.
Yeah, Mahomes lost at home.
And Lamar will not be the guy to go do this year. I
don't know, Terry. I watched that game with the Rams, and I'm going to tell you, I just don't know if anybody's figured him out. Everybody, we got tape. If the guy's better than you, it doesn't matter how much tape you got. I tell you, he's really good.
Last night, prime example. Last night, they had tape. North Lincoln had tape on Bo last night, and for 2 quarters, they stopped him. He had 8 yards in the first half. He finished the game with 146 yards.
Well, they went,
Your tape don't help you none there at all. If a player is special, a player is special.
Well,
sometimes you got to wrap them up. Now, Bo got a loose a few times after he went into a hole and got out of it and come around the ends. But, some of them yards come from plays like that, and I saw him do that quite a few times in the second half.
Right. So, if you got a special player, you got a special player. Everything else go out the window. So you take advantage of it while you got a special player. And right now, Baltimore has a special player in the league. It is what it is.
I think Baltimore can do it. John Harbaugh is not a bad coach. He's won in Foxborough before with the statue that is Joe Flacco. The defense is just as good, if not, it's not
the
better
10th
than
all-time winningest playoff quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah, that
He's beat Brady twice and Roethlisberger twice.
And it's a statue. And the teams the only loss that the Patriots have had this year so far came in Foxborough to the Ravens. So I know people would say, Belichick will have something, spiced up for them the second time they meet. But I mean, how can you stop someone that ad-libs like nobody else in the league?
Right.
Ask Bill Belichick, not Will Boykins.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, I mean, and this whole show is about people's opinion. So if that's the opinion out there, then use that opinion. I'm not trying to have to stop him. I'm not getting paid to have to stop him. Basically, I just like talking about him playing ball.
Oh, I love how he
I love
plays.
watching him.
Yeah, I love watching him play, but I just think that we're asking a tall order for him to go back up there and do it again.
And it's going to be a tough order. And let's not forget, he's only in his second season.
Yeah.
He's only in his second season.
Right. So, I mean, I think he broke the Kevin something on the QBR the other day, and I think he holds the single game QBR from Monday night. He had the best QBR of all time.
Oh, that's cute.
Well, I mean, it was just dominant.
I mean, you signed it to me, so you saying it's cute.
No,
you don't want
I
to
didn't.
me
No,
defending Romo.
you're using a different. No.
Now it's cute.
You used a different. You're talking a different stat. Will I sent you passer rating. You're talking QBR. QBR 0 to 100 includes everything. Passer rating is what I sent you as all time passer rating. And Lamar's not, all time on that. He's only in the second year. But what I'm saying, I see those are two completely different things. The QBR in one game is different. There's been tons of people. You got a perfect passer rating is 158.3. There's been a ton of people that's done that in a game, so you can't break that record. So it was the QBR is what he did, and that's nice. That's a Dak Prescott type stat and a Cam Newton because it includes the run and other things, kind of like the WAR stat, which is nice. Look, I'm not saying anything wrong with it. What Terry and I am saying is that this is Belichick, this is New England. They might have some videotapes in the building or cameramen stashed at who knows where. They have they've got the tape on you on what you've done. Do you really think Belichick knows he's making the playoffs and he knows he's going to play them? Do you think he was actually calling good plays against the? You don't think Belichick will lose a game on purpose right there? Just to let's see what they got. Let them throw everything at us. We're going to play our base game. Who cares if we go 15-1?
And you have to also understand when he played that game, Lamar could not have played no better. He played the best he could ever play. To me,
no, he played the best he could ever play Monday night.
Well, I'm not worried about the offense, Lamar. It's all about the defense for me. All right, Will, we got to get to a break now. What Tom was kind of talking about, I guess he called Wednesday to tell you that we don't know if San Francisco is going to make the Super Bowl. We sure know those Packers aren't going to make it, right?
And we also know the Cleveland Browns are not going to make it. Or the Dallas Cowboys.
We're just trying to make the play. We didn't want to make the playoffs this year. Baby steps. Baby steps. Got to make the playoffs this year.
Well, if you forgot Dallas is still in first place.
Why is he still sticking up for Dallas? They hadn't beat a team with a winning record all year.
Forgot that Green Bay is in first place in that conference as
look at it on my end of the deal. If Philadelphia wins Sunday against Miami, which they should, you know what? They still in second place. Dallas still holds the tiebreaker over them for beating them.
First round out, Dallas.
Yeah, the Dallas will get in. Dallas will win that JV division in the NFC.
They play the JV conference, so
and we'll also have a home game.
It is a loss.
It didn't matter on Thanksgiving though, did it? Sure didn't. Against Buffalo, a team that Cleveland beat.
I think they're 1-8 in the last 9 years they've played on Thanksgiving.
I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness!
I will not stand for any Buffalo poop.
Will,
no.
Are you ready to predict the Shelby Burns game winner next week?
No, I am not. That's going to be a good battle. I think
after 13 weeks, you have no opinion.
I have plenty of opinions. You trying to go to a break? You trying to go to a break?
I just want you to pick. I just said I want you to pick a winner. Cleveland County.
Cleveland County.
Chris Chargers next Friday night. Yeah, everybody but Chris is playing. They were talking about that in the press box. We could have 2 Cleveland County matchups to go to the state, and y'all blew it. Will, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Is what I was told. What Dennis told me.
Listen, we know we lost the game. I mean, we have to worry that we could have been at home. Calculate would have came to play us. We know we lost the game. There's no different. We know we laid down the egg. What more you want me to say?
I want you to say the Kings Mountain's going to beat Catholic.
Y'all laid down the egg.
Who's y'all? We can't help the seedings didn't put Swain County in the 2 seeds.
First round bye. Oh, the only team with a first round. Whose team has a first round bye? The only team that had a first round bye, and they laid down a golden egg.
Well,
no, I don't think it was a golden egg. It was a rotten
egg.
egg.
Round of the playoffs because you had a bye in the first week.
Bessemer City won just the same number of round 2 playoff games as Crest did this year.
Yeah, oh my Lord.
Bessemer City won the same number of round 2 playoff games as Crest did this year.
But you had a first round bye. That's the only reason why you was in the second round.
We earned it by. If y'all want to earn a bye, earn a bye.
No, you didn't earn the bye. It was not enough teams in your
Terry, did they not earn the bye
for y'all to get in there?
Earn the bye. Earn the bye.
That's like earning a coupon after doing a drawing in the box in the store. It's like, I earned this. Look at this.
All right, Will. If the Packers accidentally get a bye, don't call me and tell me they earned it. Okay, I don't want to hear that word come out of your mouth.
They would have earned it.
No, they wouldn't. All right, we got to go. JP, we're gonna come back. We'll talk more. Have a good morning, buddy. We're gonna eat your biscuit.
Thanks for showing up.
Talk to you guys later. Y'all doing a great job.
All right, JP, let's go to break. We're going to come back, and we're going to break down these couple of games last night. At 9 o'clock, folks, on WLON, we're going to be sending you guys over to the Business Expo, Turner House Business Expo, Tim and Ken and them. We're going to be staying on WCSL on the radio, so if you're listening to WLON right now, at 9 o'clock, you're going to be switching over. Tune over to 92.3 FM or 1590 AM if you want to listen in the car and in the radio. Or, as always, you can watch our pretty faces live on YouTube, like Will's watching right now. I guess he's sitting over there not eating our biscuit, watching us this morning. He said YouTube, so hey, Will, we'll wave at you there, buddy. I'll wave. I got my North Lincoln hat on for you. And Terry's Coach Catholic over here. And Tom's already left. We'll be back in just a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
It's like 2 sales in one. It's a 40th anniversary sale at Village Auto Sales in Gastonia and the after Thanksgiving sale at MS Power Sports in Gastonia. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join the Balls as we broadcast live this Saturday, November 30th from MS Power Sports in Gastonia and Village Auto Sales in Gastonia. We'll be set up right in the middle of both businesses with free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. And register to win some great prizes too, including free tickets to a Charlotte Hornets basketball game, free rounds of golf at Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, free $25 gift card to the Firestone Grill in Gastonia, Boss t-shirts, and more. And check out the great deals like half down and half down later at Village Auto Sales. And 19% off MSRP on all 2019 units in stock at MS Power Sports. So plan now to be there for the fun. That's this Saturday, November 30th at Village Auto Sales, 4810 Wilkinson Boulevard, and MS Power Sports, 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard, both located side by side in Gastonia. Christmas is a time for kids, and once again this year, Renato Auto Mall in Shelby is working to make this Christmas a little brighter for the underprivileged kids in our area with their annual Christmas toy drive. Now through December 14th, you are invited to bring a new unwrapped Christmas toy and drop it off. For Toys for Tots, drop it off at Renato Honda, and for the Salvation Army, drop it off at Renato Kia. Better yet, drop a toy off at both locations. Help make this Christmas a little brighter during the annual toy drive at Renato Honda and Renato Kia, both at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Mason Whitaker of Lincoln High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Mason is a junior at Lincoln and is the son of Kevin and Emily Whitaker. Mason is a center striker for the Lincoln soccer team. He also plays football and wrestles. Mason has a grade point average of 4.4792 with advanced courses in calculus, Adobe Digital, and video design. He is a member of the Beta Club and FCA. He's a member of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Explorers and a junior class student representative. After graduation, Mason would like to play soccer in college and study architectural design. The Scholar Athlete of the Month is sponsored by McDonald's, the What's Up Shopper, and KTC Broadcasting. It's time to tee it up at Kings Mountain Country Club, open to the public 7 days a week. Play and ride 18 holes Monday through Friday for $28. Play and ride 18 holes on weekends for $40. And seniors 55 and older can play and ride Monday through Friday for just $24. For your tee time, call 704-739-5871 for the Kings Mountain Country Club, 100 Country Club Drive in Kings Mountain. Mason Whitaker of Lincoln High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Mason is a junior at Lincoln and is the son of Kevin and Emily Whitaker. Mason is a center striker for the Lincoln soccer team. He also plays football and wrestles. Mason has a grade point average of 4.4792 with advanced courses in calculus, Adobe Digital, and video design. He is a member of the Beta Club and FCA. He's a member of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Explorers and a junior class student representative. After graduation, Mason would like to play soccer in college and study architectural design. The Scholar Athlete of the Month is sponsored by McDonald's, the What's Up Shopper, and KTC Broadcasting. Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and I'm sure you're tired of getting in and out of your car in the rain, sleet, and snow. That problem is no problem at all with a call to Acre Enterprises in Cherryville. They have a wide variety of carports for tough winter weather, and come in now for special pricing on new 12-foot 3x12 metal roofing. Available in many colors to choose from at only $20 a sheet. At Acre Enterprises, located at 1220 Shelby Highway, Highway 150 West in Cherryville, right across from Food Line. Call 704-435-9525.
And welcome back to Sam Moore Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're going to turn themselves on eventually.
Whoa,
There we go.
whoa. Bring it down now.
Bring
Don't
it
be so
down.
hostile.
No attitude with that. No attitude with that mumble in there.
No. We'll get there.
Hostile.
We'll get there when we want to get there.
I'm
right.
still asleep, so I'm
All
not
right, I'm gonna give you guys the
hostile at all.
scores, and then I'm gonna give y'all a situation last night. I saw one. I would say worst coaching decisions, but I don't know. Hey, I'll see what you guys think. Excuse me. In the 4AA, Richmond Senior 35-32 over Myers Park. My problem is I just got through eating on some Mitchem's Kitchen biscuit there. Let me get a sip of tea, Terry.
Then it was
There we
Vance
go.
over West Forsyth, 35-7.
Then take a bite of your biscuit. I'll go. Dorman 30-6 over Gaffney in South Carolina. Dutch Fork 45-20 over Carolina Forest. Grimsley 32-8 over Glenn. And Ragsdale falls to East Forsyth 34-21. Robbinsville 24-13 over Murphy. Mitchell 38-6 over Swain County. Elkin falls to Thomas Jefferson Griffons 35-14. If the Griffons win next week, they'll be playing at Duke next Saturday. Don't know the time yet. Mountain Island Charter loses at East Surrey. Reedsville wins at home 24-7 over Brevard. And West Stokes 28-22 over Mountain Heritage. Now, some of the games that we're going to be doing the matchup this week and around the area. Over in the 3AA real quick, Weddington wins 49-7 in Northwest Cabarrus. And Watauga 35-13 Mount Tabor. Charlotte Catholic 42-7 over West Rowan. I think that was a kind of a surprise for everybody. Kings Mountain 17-10 over AC Reynolds. The Golden Lions 42-7 over the Rebels of West Lincoln, and North Lincoln in overtime falls 27-30 in a thriller in Pumpkin Center to the Burns Bulldogs. And at Kings Mountain, AC Reynolds last night, guys. I'm gonna give you the scenario. 10 seconds left in the game. Kings Mountain has the ball about the 35-40 yard line, somewhere around in there. Maybe not at quite at the 50, but close. And they try to get the first down, of course, try to run the clock out. So they end up with 10 seconds on the game of fourth down. Kings Mountain lines up in a punt. Mm-hmm. AC Reynolds lines up with nobody back deep. 10 seconds in the game, nobody back deep. They call a timeout. I didn't know they still had, and then they come back and we're like, well, maybe they're fixing what just happened, what's going on. And they send them back out there, and again, with 10 seconds left in the game with Kings Mountain punting to them, they blitzed 11 players. So all Kings Mountain had to do was get the punt off, and the game is over. And that's what happened. They hiked it, the punter kicked it down the middle of the field, and the clock just ran out. So instead of trying to fair catch or down it when it rolls and run an offensive play, they sent 11 players for a punt block, didn't get it, and just watched the ball roll
Talk
as the
about
clock
betting
ran
on
out.
yourself.
I mean, what are you going to do with 10 seconds inside your own?
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean,
If you block it, you have a chance. If you don't, I mean,
or
you're deep.
You get an offensive play. The guy back could return it, He could jump on it. You can get it to your offensive play. So you get all kinds of things that could happen there. You could score on that.
I mean, we've seen crazier things happen in 10 seconds.
So you definitely have a chance of scoring there, Cherry, but picking it up, you have no chance if you let it roll out. Now, what's the difference between sending 10 and 11? Even if you block it, Terry, what about this? Could the clock still not run out? If you block the punt, there's no guarantee from the 45-yard line. There's no guarantee that 10 seconds
Once
still
you
don't run
cover
off.
it, then they're gonna blow it dead.
What if it rolls around though, Terry? You don't know. You don't
you're
know you're
right.
going to block it and just
You're
immediately
right.
fall on it. That would take about 5 or 6 seconds alone.
All right.
If it rolls at all,
You're down 7.
down 7.
You're screwed either way. I mean, well, what's it matter what you do? You try to. Set
There were
up a
plenty of
return.
people in the parking lot from AC Reynolds extremely mad at that. There were people losing their minds. The players were throwing their helmets on the field. Like one of the players were just one of them threw it twice. He threw it as far as he could twice over it. It was just it was the wildest something, Tom. Like rushing 10 versus 11. Is there somewhere in the book that says this is guaranteed a punt block? Because if it's not, you either fall on it and run a play. Anything can happen on a play. Ask the Minnesota Vikings in the New Orleans Saints 2 years ago. That shouldn't have scored.
No, should not have.
Anything.
He closed his eyes. What an idiot.
He took a chance. He tried to win the game.
Right.
You put 11 guys on the line.
We tried to tie the game, I guess.
You're still trying to tie the game. But I just don't understand why you're that mad. You acted like you were on the 1 foot line and threw it up to your wide receiver who's 5'8", or something like that. I mean, it wasn't that crazy. There were other options, and I guarantee you that if they dropped a man back and they run one play from the 30-yard line, what are the chances you can run?
Well, you could say that, but are the chances not better to run a play than it is to block a punt with one extra guy?
It's a high school game, though. I mean, if it's a pro game, I understand. This is a high school game. You got a 17-year-old kid who's scared to death.
All right, Tom. 1 to 100. What's the chance that you block the punt?
I mean, I don't have the
Okay,
mathematical
if he drops the snap and they get it, they still have to run an offensive play to score. Either way, they bet everything on the punt block instead of the 4 or 5 other scenarios that you could have had by putting one person back.
If I block the punt, though, I've got the ball around the 40, 35-yard line, and I think my quarterback might have a chance of throwing it that far.
But y'all are saying you'd rather take a chance on an if instead of I'm guaranteed to have a play to draw up. Would you not rather have a play to draw to Keyone Pryor? Think about it, Tom. Would you not rather have a screen pass or something to Keyone with 3 seconds left in the game, or hope that you block the punt?
But they're going to put. Did they have a Keyone Pryor?
Oh, AC Reynolds has some players. They were AC Reynolds was good. 17-10. It was 10-2 at halftime. They couldn't just put it in the end zone. It was like both teams would get down inside the 20s, and then penalties would start coming out.
Yeah.
And neither team could guard the other one almost between the 20s for the most part. Kings Mountain was having a lot of trouble. The quarterback, Tom, they were kind of running like a Shelby offense where they'd go 4 or 5 wide almost every play. And then he was picking them apart. They were running side out to the slots. And then anytime they got man-to-man, they would test Kings Mountain deep and throw it deep. They played Kobe Paysor man-to-man. No, they would bring the safety in sometimes and put 8 men in the box. They were no safety over the top hunter, and he couldn't do nothing. They shut him down on the defense. Yeah. And AC Reynolds, man, they controlled the line of scrimmage. They did everything but win that game.
But now think about what you're really saying, because in this game, AC Reynolds scored 10 points.
Yeah, and they played better.
You're going to have to go for something because you've done nothing pretty much the whole game.
I mean, anybody throwing their helmet at that. Look, guys, there's 10 seconds left in this ball game. There's a 99% chance we're going to lose this ball game. If we try to block the punt, if we try to run it back, if we blah, 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 blah. Because you get a good punt, it goes in the air 4 seconds, he picks it up, he run. I mean, the clock could run out on the return. I mean, you're at that point, I don't understand. You're probably throwing your helmet because you just lost a 3rd-round game. And you were at home, and you thought you were going to get a win, and you didn't. And now you're upset about it. I mean, I could see all that. But it really, botched coaching. I don't really think it's.
I'm not saying that cost them the game. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, why would you take a chance, a 3% chance that you're going to block the punt when you probably got a 15% chance that you could recover the ball and then run a play?
Where are you getting these percentages?
Okay, Tom, what would you? I'm guessing. What would you guess the percentage is? If you were guessing of blocking a punt.
I would like you are probably right. You probably have a better chance to return it, but that depends on who's returning the punt.
Okay,
and you've only scored 10 points.
If you've got somebody to
it's
return
not like
the punt.
I was 49-42 and
Guys,
everything can
does
happen.
11 people? All I'm saying, if I'm not saying set up a punt return, is that what y'all think I'm saying? I'm saying send the 10 to block the punt.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
What is the 11th guy doing that? Think about this. All it is a safety valve.
Because you got to put
If you don't block the punt, think about all the things that have to happen. With 10 seconds left, you have to block the punt, hope it falls immediately, and you jump on it. If it rolls 5, 6, 7 yards, the 10 seconds is going to roll off the play. So you're saying this is the play call. Hey, guys, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to hope we block the punt. Then we're going to hope we fall on it less than 10 seconds. Then we're going to hope we get a play off and do a successful play. Or we could say, hey, guys, go back there, fall on it. If we don't block it, we still have a chance. So you got 2 chances. You're still trying to block the punt like you just were with 11, and you're saving a second or 2 for a play just in case.
Your argument is probably that 11th guy is probably way out there, and he probably doesn't have really a good chance to make a legitimate punt block. And I mean, I understand that, but at that point, there's a lot of stuff that happened before there where you've lost that ball game.
At no point did I say they lost it because of that call. I'm
but
just
you're
saying.
kind of acting like it.
No.
Okay. I mean,
I'm saying that was a weird, crazy decision that they would just give up, basically. That's a give up play to me, that if this doesn't happen, oh, well, Tom, they let the ball and clock roll out on the field. You know how embarrassing that would be? That just seems to me like, hey, I'm standing on the sideline. The ball is rolling down the field. None of our guys are going to pick up and maybe try to run it back. Not even scramble around and pick it up and even try. We're just going to watch the clock tick and not care about it. Yeah. That's the feeling I get if I was a player. I mean, I hope we block a punt. I mean,
I understand what you're. I'm just saying it's not as bad as like, okay, it's
in the NFL.
It's 4th and 15. They run it up the
in the
middle
NFL last year. Only 6 teams blocked a punt the whole season.
That's the NFL though.
I know, but I'm pulling up a stat.
But
that's the only stat I could pull up, Tom. They don't have the Burns Bulldogs punting stats on Wikipedia right now.
I'm just telling you the probability.
All right, double that, Tom. So so now they would be it's 4% because that's 2%. The New Orleans Saints last year blocked 2% of their punts. So if you double that for the high school kids, we're at 4.
The probability is low, but you're talking about a high school kid. Mm-hmm. You're talking about a high school kid back there, and like I was a punter. That's all I did.
If you could go home and say, "Hey guys, I would rather watch the ball roll out and not touch it than Keyone Pryor pick it up and run," that's your choice as a coach. But that's just insane to me.
That assumes you have a Keyone Pryor that can run that. But now you say AC Reynolds had some athletes, but saying the guy's an athlete and saying the guy's he's running back punts for touchdowns.
At no point is this argument about they lost the game because of that. The argument is to me it was a give up play to where you had 5 or 6 options and you choose choose the one with the lowest percentage of anything.
I will tell you I will agree. They had a better option, but I just don't think it's as egregious as you make it out to be. Like you acted like he didn't even go after the punt, everybody just stood around.
They did. They just watched Tom. Just watching a football game, you're thinking if you're pulling for the Browns to win, and instead of sending Odell Beckham back there, they send everybody to block and they watch the ball. Just think about the view of everyone on watching national TV and watching this ball roll.
I understand.
You don't think Skip and Stephen A. would lose their minds on Monday?
That is demoralizing.
If the ball was just rolling out in the Super Bowl and the time's clock and Belichick and Garrett's sitting there clapping. We tried to block that punt, guys. We sure did try. We sent 11. We tried to block it.
He probably would do that.
That's what that was a Jason Garrett call, Terry. Yeah. All right. So, and under no circumstances, Tom, I say that's why they lost.
Yeah.
The game was put it this way. The game was perfectly even in the sense that I'm guessing North Lincoln thought they were going to win as long as AC Reynolds thought they were going to win. They led pretty much the whole. Kings Mountain couldn't do much at all. Kings Mountain messed up a couple of times. You guys fumbled like on the 5. Kings Mountain's penalties were killing them, and they had a drive in the first. Their first drive, they got down to like the 5, 6, 7, 8 yard line. It was 3rd and 3, and they got them to jump, and the refs didn't call them. They didn't call the offsides.
There was a couple motion penalties too in that Burns game. Did you watch it, Terry?
Yeah, I watched
on the 35-yard run the Pryor had. Did you see the motion penalty? Oh, I mean, nobody was set for Burns, and they missed it. And I just don't.
And it happened the other way around when North
Right.
Lincoln had the ball driving. There was a couple plays that the guy moved, and they didn't call nothing.
But in the third run, you got to get those preset snap penalties.
So it wasn't even just one person that jumped. It was like 2 or 3. I couldn't tell
Let me tell you
exactly how
something.
many
In the
went over
Shelby
the
game, they
line.
were all over those pre-snaps. I don't know how many times Shelby got called back, and West Lincoln got called back. False start, or maybe the center moved the ball just to readjust it. I was like, whoop, nope, no.
Well, you
We're gonna
can't
move
do
that
that.
back.
You can't simulate the snap.
So they got down to the 5, and they didn't get that call. Greg Lloyd calls a timeout to yell at the referees for a minute about why you didn't throw the flag. It should be first down. They didn't get the first down, and AC Reynolds stopped them there inside the 2 or 5 or wherever it was. Terry, I mentioned as soon as it happened, AC Reynolds celebrated like they just won the Super Bowl. Like their sidelines, fans, I mean, they went insane. Like it was weird. Like this is the first drive of the game. You know, we got a lot to play here, and watching Kings Mountain, we thought there's about to put some points on the board. Didn't think they get 17. But Kings Mountain blocks the punt immediately. I mean, that was speaking of block punts, that they did. And then, AC, like I said, they were kind of picking them apart defensively. Ussery, they had a wide receiver that ran over him one time, and he don't get run over like that. And he came back and took the guy out pretty good the next time. Hunter took his legs out and pulled him out from under him. So just you've seen him play. This receiver just trucked straight through James Ussery in the first time he caught it, and we were like, wow.
Ussery's physical. He's real physical at the corner position. I saw him have one-on-one battles when they were playing against Statesville, against the wide receiver for them Gathings. He's very physical. He got chippy early, but he's not afraid to get up in your shoulder pads and let you know, hey, I'm right here, buddy. I'm not playing soft coverage.
Tom,
right?
if the quarterback got the throw off, it was a good play. Like we mentioned on pretty much all the way up to halftime, every play they called worked. Like the only stops they had was penalties, and if a player would get penetration and make something happen, but like they weren't getting any pass rush, they weren't getting anything. I mean, they had 2 points at halftime. The other team had 10, but it was a weird game. Even the AC Reynolds announcers, they all thought it was going to be a high scoring game as well. But we thought we had a good defense, and we did. But it was. I thought AC Reynolds was going to score more than 10 in the second. So if one team got shut out in the first half, the other team got shut out in the second.
See,
So
this goes back to what Terry said about Catholic. They don't beat themselves, and then when you get in the fourth round game, you can't. The other team's too good.
So Catholic has only give up more than 14 once this year, and it was 20 points to Hunter Huss. So that gives you a barometer. So if Kings Mountain's going to want to win, they're going to have to hold Kings Mountain.
Hunter Huss did beat
Catholic
them,
over.
right?
No,
Hunter Huss, no. Okay.
Catholic.
Who beat them?
Weddington.
Okay.
No.
Two teams
It was,
from
no,
outside.
yeah, two. It was Christ the Lord Academy. One of them. In both games they lost. The teams had 7 points.
Yeah, and plus the other teams were nationally ranked.
They only gave up 7 points and lost their games. So those are the 2 games they lost. They didn't even give up 10 points. So they're playing very good defense. They only got the 5 seed, Terry. How'd they end up in that spot with it?
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you have the losses that you have.
Who'd you say, Weddington?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so them and Kings Mountain, and they're in that 3A. We're in a 10-5 seed in the matchup in the finals, and that don't happen too much, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it just goes to show you the seeding in North Carolina doesn't really mean a whole lot. I mean, Ashe County was a 4 seed. West Lincoln went up there and beat them 48-7. So, I mean, I was talking to the Mitchell County people about that too, and said, yeah, Ashe County is never what people think they are. It's like, and it's kind of like they win that conference, and then they get rolled.
That's like how Statesville was. Statesville was undefeated, 2 seed, going up to Statesville, and they got waxed 38-7.
I mean,
It's the best thing you got a game at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, all your home fans.
I guess, yeah.
All your home fans got to see you get rolled by Kings
Yeah,
Mountain.
you got exposed to what you really are.
But as Kevin said, the director of hot dog sales had a good night.
Yes, they did. Yeah. How about North Lincoln last night? I was watching. See, Tom, after the show last night, I went home and watched your guys' game, and I was happy and amazed by the fans on the track. We were in a playoff game. Everyone knows we're doing the broadcast. Obviously, we did not affect the hot dog fans' sales last night at North Lincoln. Or the AC Reynolds AD he thought he wasn't going to, we're not going to make any money. We got this and that. And, I had to set him straight on some stuff that he don't know. And very nice guy. But he was very worried about that. And then 30 minutes before the game, right before we went on, the whole Kings Mountain side was full. And some of the guys looked over and he goes, "Why is everybody parking on our side?" And they go, "The overflow's full. The visitors full. They're coming to our side now."
I've said this. I say this all the time, and I told this to Kevin when I first started coming here. We first had the conversation about high school. So, and if there's an athletic director listening to this, I'm gonna be honest. If somebody wants to go to a football game, by God, they're going to go to a football game.
Tom, y'all have lined down the track last night at North Lincoln.
We got games on television.
The
People
Kings
still
Mountain
go to
fans,
games.
The Kings Mountain fans, Hunter, have you been AC Reynolds at the baseball field?
Yes.
So you know the situation, how close it is to the stands.
I do.
Last night, the Kings Mountain fans were standing on the steps of the baseball press box because there was so many fans there. They couldn't line up anymore on the field along the sidelines. They were standing on the baseball field press box to watch the game on the field.
What I don't think people understand, if a guy says, "Well, I might go to the game, but it's on TV, so I'll stay home," that guy was never going to go to the game.
Exactly.
That guy was going to turn 10 to 7. Oh, I just read the paper in the morning. Those people aren't coming to the games. Why do these principals and ADs think that these fair weather, I don't know, maybe I'll make it? They're not coming.
The games were packed. Packed. Good football brings a lot of
If you ain't got good football, we can't say nothing about it.
And unfortunately,
that's aimed at a certain school, but I won't make any names.
Unfortunately, when Burns is playing East Gaston, nobody's coming. And they might watch it on a thing. They're just not going to show up for that game. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell these director of hot dog sales, that if the bigger the game, the more fans you're going to have there. And what do you think Shelby and Burns are going to be next week?
Oh,
now some people are going to say 12. I don't think it'll be 12,000 people there.
I
think
honest,
they're between 5
I
and
don't
8,000
want to fight that
people.
traffic.
They'll be between 5 and 8,000 people there. But if you run into somebody during the week says, "Oh, are y'all going to have it on TV? Because I was thinking about going, but if it's on TV, I'm not going." That person ain't going to the game.
Pay your ticket.
They're not
That's
going
exactly
to the game.
Right.
They may be on their way to Walmart and turn it on the radio and listen for a little while and then listen on the way home. They're not going.
Superintendent of Lincoln County Schools last night left one game to go to the other, and she thanked us on Twitter for this morning about being able to listen to both games last night in the KTC area. So she got to listen and watch. She pulled up the West Lincoln game. She was at the North Lincoln game and pulled up the West Lincoln game in the car on the way home. They said was thanking us for that, Terry. So you know, Tom, we got these schools around here, then Terry over here supporting Catholic today. You know, you just can't.
Well, the thing is, the thing is that I've talked to people like that I don't see that often. Like I might see them out in Walmart, or I'll see them in a gym and say, "Hey, you know, I'd forgotten about Burns football, but now they got this YouTube thing. I actually watch them a little bit." So what they don't understand is, the fans aren't coming to the game and it is what it is. What I think is, give the people a deal. Hey, if you're gonna bring your family, let the whole family in for $15. You know, give people, all right. If you're gonna buy a $7 ticket, give them a. How about
That's not a bad idea. If you have a $15 family pack.
How about giving them a free hot dog? How about telling people, you know,
whoa, line step, don't bring
Free
up the hot
hot
dogs,
dogs.
Tommy.
Serious. I'm saying, how about letting every student at your school in that game for $2? You know, how about doing things like that instead
You
of saying,
can get your passes at the start of the year.
see,
for
but what I don't
all
understand,
sports.
Terry, there's a lot of kids. I drive buses for Burns High School. I take some of those kids home. They don't have $20 to spend at the game. They don't go. But if you would do things that say, hey, we're going to have $3 student admission, and then after the game's over, we're going to have an activity bus, and we're going to take it to a central location to where you can pick your kid up after the ball game. If you want to get kids to the game. Now, the what you said about the athletic director, we ain't going to make any money. It's a sad state of affairs in public education where you have to sell hot dogs at a football game to fund your athletic programs. And that's a message to all those yo-yos up there in the General Assembly that don't realize what they're doing to these local communities. Fund these athletic programs. Don't make it dependent on a daggum hot dog sale to make sure that your cheerleaders have new uniforms, or your wrestling team can get to their match, or the band can go to a road game. It's a ridiculous state of affairs in this state, and I pin it on the state, and that goes not one party or the other. That's General Assembly, governor, a superintendent of education, all of them don't understand how important this stuff is to local communities. So fund it.
So I'm gonna just so that.
I don't see how you answer that.
You
Kevin.
got I got about 3 or 4 different other things.
I mean,
so you guys pay Huddle for the year, right?
Right. Something.
They do a lot of service for you guys, and a lot of things that we don't. But what the schools do is actually spend money on that video service, right? If we go out to a company to broadcast from, they pay us a lot of money, right, Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
So how much is worth of promotion? How much is it for us to promote Keywan Pryor and Cameron Sweezy and Isaiah Bass? How many scouts are watching the games? If you have a couple thousand people, you're not going to think somebody's going to be like, hey, Tom, check out this game. I can't drive all the way to Cleveland County tonight. Maybe I can pull it up on YouTube.
And I want to make something pretty clear, too, as well. I'm not going to be, we shouldn't be transparent with this either. These schools make money off of us to come and do this. We have to pay them to go in and do this work. So it's not like how they're. It's not like them paying us.
told us in
No,
Florida.
Hunter, 1,000 people stay home if we broadcast games. Don't you know that?
Tom, Philip,
don't you know that?
So this is how it works. This is how it works in Florida.
Don't you know that? Come on.
This is where I was getting at. So this is how it works in Florida, where Philip Russ is at. So what I just told you about the Huddle stuff, right? Mm-hmm. The schools pay the radio stations and TV stations in Florida. These schools pay the radio stations and TV stations in Florida.
Terry, hop in the truck. We're going down Daytona Beach. KTC is going to be
we already got
Florida
Philip there, so I guess we'll start with, what is it, Centennial or whatever the school's name
We're going to Florida. See y'all later.
Well, Tom, and again, one thing at the end of the day, a couple of things real quick. Fun thoughts. You don't need 12 uniforms. When I played, we had 2, home and away.
Yeah.
We don't have 7 different alternate jerseys.
See, but it's cheaper now. That stuff's all so much cheaper than it was when we played. You remember when we played?
Wait a minute. Don't. How much is for jersey? How much is a set of basketball jerseys or something? A couple $100. But then come to me and say, I want more broadcast fee when you just bought an 11th jersey, and that's the same as a broadcast fee. So you want me to buy your 11th jersey? That's the point I'm making. Hey, when the softball program shuts down, then call me. When as soon as the program starts shutting down, then call me on that. Now, and also, if you have a problem with some of that, I would call the Athletic Association, and this is what I told the athletic director at AC Reynolds yesterday when I talked to him on the phone, is, you guys agree to this stuff with the Athletic Association. Spectrum has rights on all the games.
Yep.
If they want to do the game, they come in. You can't say nothing. If the North Carolina National Federation of High School Networks comes in and says you want a game, they can't do nothing. And his response was well, and I don't have to. Just because I have to let you in doesn't mean I have to accommodate you, is what he told me. And that if that was Spectrum coming in there, I'm 100% sure he wouldn't have told them that. And that's some of the things that he wanted to watch his son play. And he told me he was worried about the gate, and I said, you don't have to worry about the gate. Kings Mountain's coming. But you
ain't got to worry about the rest of the season now, buddy.
What I was telling you about the Athletic Association, I was like, look, if you have a problem with that, maybe you need to talk it up with them. I said, you guys pay them a fee, and then they make the rules, and then they rake in $3 million a year in keeping the money in the bank, and then $3 million on 19 people's salary. We're not making $3 million a year over here in salaries and everything for our announcers.
I am.
Well, Tom is. But like, maybe you should talk to the Athletic Association, who's pretty much taking money from you guys. They make the last taxes we saw was $9 million. $3 million went to 19 salaries. $3 million was other expenses. The 2-point-something other million went to the endowment fund, which is now at $30-something million, Tom, and what they spent on scholarships was $600,000. How much does it cost to go to Charlotte, Tommy?
About
a scholarship
$25,000 a year. $25,000 a
so
year.
4 times 6, 24. So the Athletic Association funded 24 kids last year for 1 year. 24 kids. How many counties are there in the state?
100.
So less than 25% of the counties, the Athletic Association funded 1 kid scholarship. So when you start counting the money, folks, maybe you should talk to them and not us. Maybe I'll make your brackets for half it. Terry, you want to make some brackets? Would you make would you make the brackets for half of $9 million?
I would.
We'll make the brackets for they do it for $3.5 million.
It seems like a hard job.
I'm gonna put it to you like this, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I got to thank you from a source that says, appreciate you helping us this year. Our California coaches, we are glad that y'all are doing y'all's part. You heard what I just said. Our California coaches, we are glad that you are doing our part, and this is addressed to me. I do not live in California.
No.
I live in North Carolina.
No, Terry.
Legitimately.
We thought you were from the Bay Area.
Well, you know,
He flies in on Friday nights.
now I'm
That's Texas
serious
Terry Reinhardt for you, flying
as
in
I
style.
can be. This was sent to me, and I started reading it, and I quit right then, because you have no clue where I was at. You thought I lived in California, and I helped y'all with North Carolina football while I'm out there.
Right.
You know, and I was really amazed. I quit reading. I clicked it off.
It is
Because
bad.
I knew right then, I mean, it's no worse than them not having Cherryville coach right still, unless they fix that. I do not know. But there's a lot of things that I do not like. And then when a couple years, and a lot of people get mad at me for saying, hey, Q Tucker had no clue of what's happening. She even come up and said, I have no clue of how they put the rankings and who gets what. I'm never going to be over something unless I know. If I'm going to be the leader, you tell me what you're doing. That way, if a coach calls me and Tom's the coach, I can say, this is why we did this. And I can tell him.
Here's the problem with leadership overall. People want the prestige of leadership without the responsibility of leadership.
Oh, okay. How about
And
this?
it is
That is
really,
perfect
really
what Tom just said,
frustrating.
because listen to this. This is what athletic director told me. Yes, this is what he told me. I can't put – now, we're the ones paying more. We're paying 3 to 5 times more than everybody else in that building. We're paying more than everyone else in the building combined to be in there. And he told me he couldn't make room for my cameraman because he couldn't move 2 boosters and 2 regular radio stations. 2 radio stations that were there, he couldn't move them to the second row where we sat just to let us sit there so we could have a clear view of the game, even though we were paying them more than anyone else in there combined.
Yeah.
And so,
Let me say something real quick.
and he said, well, he did say, Tom, he also wanted to watch his son play. He didn't want to move the booster, and he didn't want to move the radio. So all he wanted to do was hope he made money, watch his son play, and don't get fired. Those were the 3 things that I heard come from his mouth. I don't want to be fired by the boosters. I want to watch my son play, and I want to make some money off Kings Mountain.
Let me say something and give Terry his point.
Do they get a commission on the sales? That's what they act like.
But North Lincoln did everything they could to accommodate everybody.
They're wonderful.
Including
The Fat
football
Boys
right now. So
Club.
I just want to
Karen
say,
Miller and the boys.
They do
I just
great
want
up
to
there.
say that North Lincoln class act, and they have a small press box, and they did everything in their power to make sure everybody was accommodated. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, and my whole deal for Kevin is I look at it like this. He's got a booster here who is giving them money, and he does not want to upset that guy. He's only going to see you one time.
Right.
So I'm going to put the dish on you to put you somewhere where it does not affect me, because this guy, I see him every day.
And that goes back to the way what we're doing in this state. That goes back to what we're doing in this state. They just don't want to spend any money on it. They have to understand that some of these young men and women in this state need athletics to keep them straight, to keep the grades up. They're around good people, and they just, it's like people don't care. So we're going to put it off on y'all to depend on this guy writing a check or little Johnny buying 3 hot dogs to fund your athletic programs, and that's why they're so uptight. But then you go back to, I'm worried about the booster, I'm worried about this guy. I mean, I've gone to places where I know that's what it was when I went to a school that were
Well, Terry, I understand that the people give money, but also, what is this building called?
A press box.
It's if they want to build a luxury box, build a luxury box.
I agree.
But this is a
I
working
agree.
press box.
But I went to, when I was in the concession stand, I was at the
Preach
concession
it.
stand. I was
Jerry
at the
Richardson don't sit in the
Here,
pressure
look.
rocks.
No.
Jerry Jones don't sit
I
in
was
the
in the
pressure
back.
box.
I did a game in the back of the concession stand, and then I went upstairs, and there's this much people having a party, man.
Yeah.
And
They
that's
made us
where
sit
I
in the
was supposed
concession
to-
stand while they had a party in the press box.
But also, I'm going to look at Tom, and Tom knows this as much as I do. When you are at a school and things happen, think about all the people who are doing it for free. who gave up their time on
Oh
that
my
Friday
God.
to come and
Working
help.
yeah, absolutely.
You know, they're not getting anything.
But
Maybe they got a hot dog.
Yeah.
Terry,
while
you
they
was
were there,
Terry, you was talking about
but-
down at the state, like, why would you do something that you didn't know if you were doing? Here's why. Not, of 19 people dividing up $3.5 million, that's $185,000 a year.
I'll take
You know
that
the
today.
governor of North Carolina only makes $157,000.
So the members of the athletic association on average
Making
make
more
more
than
than
the
the
governor,
governor
making more than
of
the
North
governor.
Carolina. If you fired 3 people, Tom, that would double the number of scholarships the athletic association could give.
They better hope that I'm never the governor.
If they
because
fired-
if I am, I'm going to Chapel Hill and firing every one of them.
Terry, if you fired 3 people, you could give the same number of scholarships that you give every year
It's crazy.
because of how much the janitor's not getting 180. That's the average. How much is everyone else getting? If the janitor's getting 40,000, now divide it by 18, Tom. Now we're going up more. Let me do that. 3.4 million divided by 18. Now they're up to $190,000 a year on average. So
I'll tell you, it's really what
That's crazy.
what makes me mad is when people use nonprofit government entities to enrich themselves at the expense of our young men
it is nonprofit
and women.
and public
It's
school,
crazy.
public
It's
schools,
stupid.
tax
And peop-
schools.
And people need to know this, Kevin.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're saying
I
because
tried
people
to.
need to know.
Well,
what's
you don't
going
have to be a
on.
member of the athletic association, do you, Terry?
No.
You can make your own athletic association.
you could.
be independent, right? You,
could.
don't have to pay the money, especially and if you're a team that or a school that isn't that competitive in sports. Why would you be a member of the athletic association?
You have no reason to be. That's just losing
If you
money.
if you just got sports to give the kids something
I
to
think
do,
it
you
would
don't really
be-
not that competitive.
For you to come out and start a new one, though, that would be your whole thing. How many people are going to go with you? You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is what I would do. Whatever the cost is to join the what is it? It's $5,000 a year. So whatever it is, the cost. Let's say it's $5,000 a year. I would say give me $500 a year, and I'll make you guys schedules. And then how are the schools going to say? Well, I mean, no, we'd rather spend the $4,500.
Man, I want you to think about it too. I act like making brackets and schedules is hard. I mean, think about it. All you gotta do is get on the phone, make a few phone calls, get that lined up for the
Well,
schedules. And the bracket wise, if you can't figure out wins from losses, then I can't help you.
There's
buddy.
some guys down.
I'm
There's some
sorry.
guys down east that do all the projections, the high school overtime
they don't see
guys,
anything
and
in
they
the
get them
West.
almost right every time before. All right, we went way over line time and everything. We got
Yeah, but it was
into some
worth
of
it. The
that.
people need to know this. This is why they tune in out of California.
We try to.
Yeah.
Most of us that do this, and I try to get to it. Of all of our announcers, almost 99% of them went to one of these local schools, and
Yeah.
and most of us do it for love. Like I said, we would love to split up. We have about 25 announcers. We'd love to split up. We'd love to all be making $180,000 a piece.
Oh my God,
wouldn't we?
wouldn't that be nice?
Just between the 19. Guys,
I'd drop out of
You know
school.
how good coverage that we would bring
So
you.
would I.
Y'all know how good coverage KTC would bring y'all if we were all making if they just paid us the athletic association.
You could have like
I don't-
you could
I
have
don't-
little stat
Yeah.
nerds bringing in
Man,
what
I was
to
gonna
say.
say, I don't think people.
JP would be doing stats at the ball game.
I don't think people realize it would almost be like a legitimate we would be
Pay us,
just
Terry.
as good as ESPN.
Do you
don't
think we
have
could
that
make
kind of money.
brackets and cover these games for $9 million a year, Terry?
I know I could.
What would Terry do
I
with
just need some help.
Terry?
There
Terry,
you-
there's not enough room in your backyard to bury $9 million. What would you do
That's what
with
I'm
it?
saying.
Do you got that many? Do you have that many tin cans? All right, guys, we're having some fun here. Thanks for listening. We got on some soapboxes there for a minute. Didn't mean to get on for that long, but like I said, we're trying to bring the games to you live and do what we can. I started doing this stuff played all 3 sports, and everybody used to say, Terry, it'd be cool if you could watch, because WBTV, the Football Friday Night thing, everybody
It's
would bend
just a
over
little
backwards
snippet, though.
for 5 seconds of that.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool to watch this, Kevin. It'd be so cool if we did this. And everybody always wanted to have the game tapes.
Yeah,
That's the
game
big thing.
tapes
Is people?
big.
Hey, I'd like to go back and watch myself. I just
that
had
or
someone.
they wanted to send it to somebody.
I just had someone request me to go to ask the coaches at Bessemer City for some old game tapes, and if we broadcast them, I can always go, hey, just go on YouTube and you can watch it. Saturday afternoon. A lot of Saturday afternoons, really what I do when I get back to the house, if I don't have nothing to do, I will sit here and rewatch the games that I didn't go to.
Also, just say
because I
this-
really don't watch college football.
say
So
this
last night I watched Burns.
For those listening, don't think this is just like a thing that we only deal with. There are probably other radio stations in other counties that are dealing with this the same thing, and I know probably personally handpicked at least one of us, if not all of us, in this building have dealt with this kind of, I don't want to call it harassment, but it's the kind of the same way. And and they kind of look down upon us when we show up. I think we've all at least experienced that once. So it's not like we're pulling this out of thin air and just making this up to stir up something. We're just bringing you the facts.
When I showed up at High Brighton, and I showed up and they said, "Whoa, who are you?" So KTC. Oh, hold on, we got to talk to the athletic director. We got KTC here. Send them up. I'll deal with them. Not making it up. I will. Not. Oh yeah, we're glad that. No,
I'll deal with them.
I will deal with them.
Yeah, state. Yeah, yeah. Hey, state.
And then we're gonna send you to the top.
Then I felt like something was choking.
I didn't even get 2 feet past the gate at Statesville, and someone had already stopped me and said, "Where's my check?"
Oh yeah.
I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I can't let you go up there without my check."
Terry, if I gave you $500 sitting in a football game, you think I can sit where I want?
I'd probably let you have a spot. I'd probably give you mine.
I about to say everybody else here is paying what, $15, and you getting $500 out of me?
I mean, $500 at a Panthers game gets you front row, don't it, Tommy? And that gets you a luxury booth in a power outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, JP, you ready? JP, you ready? I know we went way late. I'm sorry, folks. We had a little fun there. We like doing what we're doing. We do it because we love it, not because we're getting rich off of it.
That's exactly right.
And that's so people give us pushback. We give a little back, but basketball season's coming up. What real quick, Terry? What it is weird before we go to break? Once football season ends, a lot of these other media folks just disappear. It's like they were never here, and everybody's a football expert, but nobody wants to work basketball and baseball, and they just disappear.
No one wants to sit in a gymnasium where it's loud. No one wants to sit out in a
and Kevin
hot
do.
dugout. No one wants to sit out in the
Me and
heat.
Tom will be there.
We'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, guys. JP, let's take a break on KTC Broadcast Night.
It's the 3rd annual Small Business Expo, and you're invited this Saturday, November 30th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the James W. Warren Citizen Center in Lincoln, sponsored by Turner Hauser Insurance Group. There will be 60 vendors, and Santa Claus will be there from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m., and photos will be available for purchase. The event is open to the public with no admission fee, all hosted by Wendy Peeler. And join Tim Johnson and Ken Link for a live all-day broadcast on The Boss, WLON, 107.5 FM and 1050 AM. They'll be broadcasting live from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m., so make plans to be there. The 3rd annual Small Business Expo at the James W. Warren Citizen Center, 115 West Main Street in Lincoln, sponsored by Turner Hauser Insurance Group. Again, it's free, and the best part, you're invited. It's a pre-holiday sale. 2 big days of savings right after Thanksgiving. Friday, November 29th and Saturday, November 30th at Straps Jewelers, 315 East Main Street in downtown Lincoln. Take 20% off inventory items, excluding special orders, layaways, repairs, and SGB line. Great doorbusters will be available both days from 9 till 11 a.m. In addition, with each purchase of $200 or more, you'll automatically be entered into their 12 Days of Christmas drawing. There will be 12 winners from December 2nd through December 14th. Each winner will receive a VIP shopping pass for an additional 25% off to be used through December 31st, as well as a free gift. Plus, the first 25 customers who spend $50 or more will receive a gift with purchase. That's at Straps Jewelers, November 29th and 30th in downtown Lincoln. It's like 2 sales in one. It's a 40th anniversary sale at Village Auto Sales in Gastonia and the After Thanksgiving sale at MS Power Sports in Gastonia. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join the Balls as we broadcast live this Saturday, November 30th from MS Power Sports in Gastonia and Village Auto Sales in Gastonia. We'll be set up right in the middle of both businesses with free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes too, including free tickets to a Charlotte Hornets basketball game, free rounds of golf at Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, free $25 gift card to the Firestone Grill in Gastonia, Boss t-shirts, and more. And check out the great deals like half down and half down later at Village Auto Sales. And 19% off MSRP on all 2019 units in stock at MS Power Sports. So plan now to be there for the fun. That's this Saturday, November 30th at Village Auto Sales, 4810 Wilkinson Boulevard, and MS Power Sports, 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard, both located side by side in Gastonia.
Country Countdown USA. I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as we count down the week's top 30 with Brad Paisley, who does a little mudding with Carrie Underwood.
She ended up taking me completely out of my comfort zone and scares the living daylights out of me. I've never seen the redneck side of her to this degree.
That's Brad Paisley this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA with Lon Helton, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
This is your lawn. No one else touches it. Because let's face it, only you know what's best. Introducing the CRZ Zero-Turn Mower, only from Bobcat. A fierce machine built for the pros and those who want to mow like them. And backed by our industry-leading 5-year, 500-hour Mow with Confidence limited warranty. You'll have the best-looking lawn on the block. Bobcat. Fiercely independent. Visit your Bobcat dealer to demo a CRZ, starting at $3,999, or head to bobcatturf.com to learn more.
This area's Bobcat dealer is Western Sales, Highway 18 North at the 27 intersection west in Vale.
Every morning is different for everybody. Nate gets up for the early shift, while Brad is just getting home from the night shift. Pam runs a PR and a 5K, while Drew runs late to work. Beth proposes a road trip to her boyfriend, while Mark proposes to his girlfriend. Luckily, there's a McDonald's for every morning.
Start your morning with a rich, smooth, and freshly brewed McCafe coffee. And now, get any size for just $1 at McDonald's. Limited time offer. Price of participation may vary. A la carte only.
It's the 3rd annual Small Business Expo, and you're invited this Saturday, November 30th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the James W. Warren Citizen Center in Lincoln, sponsored by Turner Hauser Insurance Group. There will be 60 vendors, and Santa Claus will be there from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m., and photos will be available for purchase. The event is open to the public with no admission fee, all hosted by Wendy Peeler. And join Tim Johnson and Ken Link for a live all-day broadcast on The Boss, WLON, 107.5 FM and 1050 AM. They'll be broadcasting live from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m., so make plans to be there. The 3rd annual Small Business Expo at the James W. Warren Citizen Center, 115 West Main Street in Lincoln, sponsored by Turner Hauser Insurance Group. Again, it's free, and the best part, you're invited. Straps Jewelers in downtown Lincoln is having a Cyber Monday special. Gift certificates can be purchased at 20% off the face value. If you can't make it to the store, just give them a call at 704-735-8484 or 704-735-7112 on Monday, December 2nd. You can pay over the phone, and they will hold your gift certificates until you can pick them up. Don't miss this huge event to jumpstart your Christmas shopping and save big at your hometown jewelers this holiday season. And don't forget about the holiday sale, November 29th and 30th. Get 20% off both days, plus doorbuster specials both days from 9 to 11 a.m. at Straps Jewelers in downtown Lincoln.
Here's what's up in Cleveland, Gaston, and Lincoln counties. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country WCSL, and The Boss WOHS and WLON. This year, Hospice of Cleveland County will again provide holiday dinners for our patients and families who need them. Any contribution will be appreciated. For more information, call 704-487-4877. The Ruby C. Hunt YMCA 22nd Annual Turkey Trot will be held Thanksgiving Day, November 28th. And that's What's Up, brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM. The Boss WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM. And WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM. For more information, go to whatsupshopper.com.
Check out the monthly specials at the Cherryville Country Club. Open to the public with no reservations required. It's prime rib the first Friday of each month. Crab legs the second Thursday and Friday of each month. Steak and wine on the third Thursday and Friday of each month with fresh hand-cut steaks. And it's fish camp night the fourth Thursday and Friday of each month. And don't forget about their Sunday buffet from 11 to 2. And the chicken on the run bucket Sundays. 8 pieces of chicken, 2 sides and rolls for $14.50. The Cherryville Golf and Country Club, Roy Acre Road, Cherryville.
Mason Whitaker of Lincoln High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Mason is a junior at Lincoln and is the son of Kevin and Emily Whitaker. Mason is a center striker for the Lincoln soccer team. He also plays football and wrestles. Mason has a grade point average of 4.4792 with advanced courses in calculus, Adobe Digital, and video design. He is a member of the Beta Club and FCA. He's a member of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Explorers and a junior class student representative. After graduation, Mason would like to play soccer in college and study architectural design. The Scholar Athlete of the Month is sponsored by McDonald's, the What's Up Shopper, and KTC Broadcasting. Harris Funeral Home in Kings Mountain presents a joyful evening with the Gardner-Webb Trumpet Ensemble. You're invited to join in for a time of celebration and great Christmas music. The event will be held Thursday, December 12th at 6:30 p.m. in the Ollie Harris Memorial Chapel at 1089 South Piedmont Avenue in Kings Mountain. There will be tasty Christmas treats for everyone, and best of all, it's free to the public. For more information, call Harris Funeral Home in Kings Mountain at 704-739-2591.
Hello, welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're getting geared up, turning themselves on so we can talk more about sports that I know nothing about.
W's talk.
All right, JP's excited. JP, we got a phone caller, I think, right? Still on the line?
Yes.
Coach Scott Harrell, Cherryville High School basketball season just kicking up here. We're in the end of the football season, but everywhere else around the state, besides these final about 16 teams or so, or 8, did I do that math? Maybe 32 teams. I don't know what's left. Anyway, Coach Harrell's on the line. They're 3-0 this season here in the Southern Piedmont 1A, and with the win against North Gas the other night, 79-59, their next game. By my schedule, and Coach might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, it says Cabarrus Charter Academy on the Max Preps. Is that right, Coach?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right, well, welcome. Good morning, Saturday morning to you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Tell us about that
Hope
Southern.
y'all guys are doing well.
Tell us how Southern Piedmont's looking this year headed to the season.
I really think it's looking pretty balanced and pretty strong. Lincoln Charter, still somebody can knock them off, still going to be the favorite. And Bessemer City, I went and watched them the other night. They're real athletic. Thomas Jefferson, Coach Jones is up there now. He was at Burns last year, and he's done a really good job. I think they got 2 or 3 players in for Thomas Jefferson. So I think it's going to be a real balanced season. So looking forward to the conference.
Well, Coach, 91-90 victory the other night, thriller with North Lincoln. You guys got to go back up there here on the 5th. Are you going to have another 91-90 thriller game up there?
Well, that would be a good one for the fans to see. If they missed that one here at Cherryville, they missed a good one. We were down 27 in the first half and kind of woke up a little bit and got the defensive pressure a little bit going and finally knocked down some shots and hit a shot at the buzzer to send it to overtime, a 3-pointer, and then hit a shot with 2 seconds to go, down 2, and the kid Jeremy Varela hit the free throw to win it for us. It was a good night.
Coach, I got a question for you. Now, you just got through telling us you was down by 27. Did you call timeout? How do you get your guys refocused? Like, there's a lot of game left. Let's look for cut it to so much at this time and maybe cut it to 10 by halftime. How do you speak to your kids at the time?
That was a halftime down 27. So we just talked at halftime that, listen, you can't win it all in one quarter. Our goal was to chip it down to 12 by the start of the fourth quarter, and we had it right at 11 to go into the fourth quarter. And, you need a few things to go your way. And in the fourth quarter, we forced a couple turnovers and still down 5 with 12 seconds to go. And they missed the free throw, which allowed us to get the rebound, pushed it up, hit a 3, timeout and a foul, and you're down 2, and they hit 1 out of 2 free throws and gave us that chance to hit a shot at the buzzer to send it in overtime. So things just have to bounce your way as you chip back, but the kids just believed, and as we started chipping into the lead, the excitement, the crowd was there, and it was a good confidence builder because we're a young team. We've got a couple returners, but for the most part, we're really young.
Coach, I don't know specifically. Does the Knights have any football players coming over?
I do think they have 2 coming over.
Okay.
But they're still a really good basketball team. They can shoot it. They hit 9 threes, I believe, in the first half, and 2 nights before that they had hit 17 threes against Highland Tech. So they can shoot the basketball really well.
So you think they'll be competing in the South Fork 2A?
I think they should. I think Coach has them believing. They don't have a lot of size inside, but we don't either. But they hustle, they play hard, and they can shoot the basketball. But, you know, that three-pointer, that's a lot like our team. You live by it, but you can also die by it, too.
All right, Coach. You have a good Thanksgiving weekend. Y'all fishing or anything?
We did a little hunting. Trevor's home from college, so that was good. And it was a good Thanksgiving. Lane's decided he's going to go to Mars Hill. He signed his scholarship last week.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Coach was excited. Lane had tied a school record. He scored 51 points in that game against North Lincoln.
Who did he tie?
He tied Kenny Poston.
Kenny? Now that's eight. Oh, the second junior. I was about to say that's in the 80s. That's not the 80s.
No, that was back in 2013, 2014 season. We were playing Mitchell in the playoffs, and that was a 116 to 95 game. So, and Kenny had 51 that night.
And I know it's being a coach and a dad. How many free throws did he miss? Lane
missed 3.
Did you say that to him about he could have the record if he hit his free throw?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if that was.
I was just happy he hit the last 2 threes.
Absolutely.
Overtime.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We probably needed all 51.
Why do all fans expect 100% from the free throw line? That's all I want to know. Like, you're not supposed to miss a free throw ever.
I expected Coach Harold to say something about the free throws on that one. But if he scored 51, you can't say too much.
I'm sure a few people have told him that.
Yeah.
I'm sure, because you think about that. How could you have got another point? A layup you missed, an easy shot you missed.
Just got to hit the free throw.
Yeah, but you know, in high school basketball, kids don't shoot free throws quite as good as they used to.
No.
He's about 85%, 80 to 85%, I'd say.
That's
on the
wonderful.
Free throw line,
That's wonderful.
But on average, in high school, our team statistics probably over the last 15 years have been about 62 to 65%.
That's
about and probably 58 for the visiting team.
Well, that's about LeBron there, Coach.
Yep. Well, close to it, man.
Well, Coach, I want to ask you a question. I know in practice y'all do go over free throws and stuff like that, but how come nowadays guys would rather fire that three? I mean, hey, I guess it's elite stats if you can hit threes, but they would rather hit from out there. Why don't we just move the free throw line back to the 3-point line and let you shoot from there?
They'd work on it more, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's
they
it.
Would. You know, it's a whole changing culture of the game over the last probably 12 to 15 years. That 3-point line's got more and more, and I think the NBA game has trickled down to college and to high school. And you look at a Steph Curry, a James Harden, Klay Thompson, who can shoot it really, really well. And those guys just watch those, and that's what they think they can do or want to do. And they're not as mature or strong enough to do what those NBA guys do.
No.
And you look at an NBA guy, he shoots at a 3-point level at about 35 to 40%, and he's pro.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and then you get plenty of pros that shoot free throws at 50 to 70% that don't hit them all.
That's embarrassing getting paid that much, ain't it?
Well, you think you work on, but they work on it. It's a tough thing. That's what was so special about the Varela kid. You know, 2 seconds on the clock, you make your free throw, we win the game. You miss it, we go to double overtime, and he stepped up and made it. So there's a lot of pressure on those kids when those situations come.
Well, Coach, good luck.
But yes, Terry, we do work on free throws every day in practice. We've got a 6-minute free throw drill we do at the end of practice with pressure on the line, with sprints that come from misses, and every single day they get to work on it.
Well, I was wondering about that, Coach, because I know when we was doing it over, me and Coach Sane, that's how we ended ours, and we never left unless you hit a free throws down the stretch.
That's correct. That's how we do. And then there's some nights I do that you got to hit 5 in a row before you can go home. I don't know if that's punishing the kid or me.
Maybe I hear you on that. That's true.
For some kids. One more thing before I go, Kevin. Friday night, I'm sure WCSL Danny Milton will be here for our game. No, maybe not with the football going on, but we're going to honor the 1,000-point scorers in Cherryville High School history.
Okay.
Friday night, and we've got 25 we've got 25 players here at Cherryville High School that scored 1,000 points. And I think that's got to be the most of any school in the whole western North Carolina area.
What's the date on that?
This Friday,
the 6th?
December 6th.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Who are y'all playing? It's not on the Max Prep schedule.
West Lincoln.
So West at Cherryville Friday. I'll let Dad know on that one. He's in Gastonia right now at MS Power Sports, so he can't even hear me talking right now. But I'll let him know on that one. And then of course Danny and Milton. I don't think we'll have a WCSL broadcast, so we more than likely we will be there.
That'll be good. There's a lot of great names on that list.
Yes, sir.
Terry Whistler to be back. Justin Johnson. Both of those are 2,000-point scorers. Then Thomas Best, he won't be able to be here. He's in Texas. But Cameron Lovelace is 4th with 18. Terry Whistler, senior. Tabarak Bell. That's back during your time, wasn't it?
Right.
Jason Brown.
Subbart just missed it.
Little,
Subbart just missed it because Tubbart shot too many times. He did get it, didn't he? He did get it, didn't he?
He got 1,012 points.
I forgot about that. He crossed over there at the end. You're right.
And you talk about a free throw. Kenny Poston is the last on the list with 1,001. It took all 51 of his to get there, didn't it?
It did.
So, a lot of great names. Ralph Roberts, number 11 on that list.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of great names, and so we're going to honor those Friday night.
Okay, Coach. Well, have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.
All right, take care.
Take care. Coach Scott Harrell, the Cherryville Ironmen, 3-0 on the season right now. They faced North Gaston this week, or they did. Yes, I mean they're at North Lincoln on the 5th, and West Lincoln they host on the 6th. They're celebrating their 1,000 point scores in Cherryville.
When we come to town,
they always celebrate when West Lincoln during basketball.
Oh yeah.
How do you blow a 27 point
free throws, Tom? If they'd hit one more free throw, and
high school
I like talking about the free throws because you can look at almost every game, whether it's college, NBA, high school. See how many points you got beat by. If you got beat by 40, that's not it. But any close game, you've always always missed more free throws than you made.
It's a high school game. There's no shot clock. You're up 20 seconds.
Hey, I know, Tom. Shh.
How does that happen, Terry? I mean, that can't happen in a high school ball game.
It should not happen.
I mean,
would Dean Smith have lost that game, Terry?
Yeah, well,
up 27.
Dean
he ran the four corners. Hey, we ran the four corners in high school too.
Well, they put in the shot clock in California high school basketball.
Did they?
Yeah.
I think there should be a shot clock at every level.
Well,
I don't see why not.
It now it requires another guy to show up and run that thing. North Carolina.
You're gonna have to pay him.
We don't. Oh no.
Oh, we get that free guy.
This is North Carolina. We don't pay anybody.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, just be glad you got a job, boy. You working the game tonight, boy.
Well, the shot clock thing, I do kind of agree with. I've seen a bunch of games where a good point guard can. A few years ago, Shelby had Quay Kimball, who was so fast that anytime they got up 5 or 7, Terry, they would go four corners on whoever they're playing and run some clock because they couldn't touch him. But Quay would just dribble around. Oh, God, he's so fast. All right, we got to take a break. JP, you ready? Ready for break? All right, we got to come back. We got to do our college football predictions. We got to talk NFL, and we got some fun stuff in the NFL. We're going to be really quick on the college football predictions.
Yeah, quick.
And we're going to finish up the show with NFL. All right, JP, we'll be right back. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and I'm sure you're tired of getting in and out of your car in the rain, sleet, and snow. That problem is no problem at all with a call to Acre Enterprises in Cherryville. They have a wide variety of carports for tough winter weather, and come in now for special pricing on new 12-foot 3x12 metal roofing. Available in many colors to choose from at only $20 a sheet. At Acre Enterprises, located at 1220 Shelby Highway, Highway 150 West in Cherryville, right across from Food Line. Call 704-435-9525.
Country Gold with Terry Clark.
I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me for Country Gold, where we play your favorites from the 80s and 90s. My guest this week is Dwight Yoakam. He was just inducted into the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. He talks about his incredible career in country music, including his friendships with Buck Owens, Roger Miller, and Larry Gatlin. That's Dwight Yoakam on Country Gold with Terry Clark.
Country Gold with Terry Clark, Thursday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com. Now through December 15th, get up to $1,500 in instant rebates with the purchase of qualifying American Standard equipment from Bill Shuford Heating and Air in Shelby. But that's not all. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months. Come on in or call for all the details at 704-484-0025. Again, up to $1,500 in instant rebates on qualifying American Standard equipment and special 0% financing up to 72 months. Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Online at BillShufordHVAC.com. Christmas is a time for kids, and once again this year, Renato Auto Mall in Shelby is working to make this Christmas a little brighter for the underprivileged kids in our area with their annual Christmas toy drive. Now through December 14th, you are invited to bring a new unwrapped Christmas toy and drop it off. For Toys for Tots, drop it off at Renato Honda, and for the Salvation Army, drop it off at Renato Kia. Better yet, drop a toy off at both locations. Help make this Christmas a little brighter during the annual toy drive at Renato Honda and Renato Kia, both at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
The $1,000 Christmas cash giveaway is back, and you could be the winner of $1,000 from KTC Broadcasting and the What's Up Shopper. All you have to do is register at one of our participating merchants, including Sheila Sheds in Cherryville, Lincoln, and Shelby, Hometown Hardware, South Railroad Avenue, Kings Mountain, Bill Shuford Heating and Air on Campbell Street in Shelby, Century Drug on East Dallas Road in Stanley, Splinters and Rags, Highway 27 West in Vale, Shelby Hardware, South Lafayette Street, Shelby, Moss Drug on West Franklin Boulevard, Gastonia, Annalise Boutique on Main Street, downtown Cherryville, Cleveland Lumber Company on Arrowwood Street in Shelby, Love's Fish Box on Shelby Road, Kings Mountain, Straps Jewelers on East Main Street, Lincoln, and at Classic Lamp Outlet, Highway 180 North in Shelby. The drawing will be held Friday, December 20th. Business qualifiers will win a Christmas teddy bear. Entry rules may vary from store to store. Don't miss the annual $1,000 Christmas cash giveaway from KTC Broadcasting and the What's Up Shopper.
Do you have low or fluctuating water pressure? Maybe your pump runs continuously. Is your electric bill too high? Or maybe you even have dirty water. If you have any of those issues, then you need to call the Well Doctor for a free inspection. That number is 704-909-9258. The Well Doctor is the best of the best winner and features 24-hour emergency service with a 5-star rating and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. And best of all, free estimates. Call the Well Doctor, family owned and operated. Again, that number is 704-909-9258 for the Well Doctor. Online at welldoctor.biz.
And welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. As they would say in football, we're headed for the touchdown end zone, to be honest. I guess they are. They're going to college. They're going NFL.
Yeah, college. We're going to talk about college.
We're going to the touchdown end zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hired JP for his button-pushing skills and not his...
commentary. If you want to call it commentary, I know nothing about sports. I just try and fail so long.
You do
Although I do have some things about what y'all said about the Mount Rushmore wrestlers.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to tell you now?
Yeah.
Y'all missed
There's only 4.
Yeah.
I only know of probably 3 wrestlers.
All right,
well, who are they?
He can't even name the 4 Mount Rushmore.
I think I know.
I can name the original presidents on Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
All right, JP, shut your mic off. Welcome to college football.
he said, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That was terrible, Georgia.
Hey, y'all enjoy it.
Georgia, this weekend goes to the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech. Who you got, Tommy?
Georgia big.
They're favored by like 28.5.
Is that all?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go down. We're gonna keep these quick because we gotta get to the NFL and discuss stuff. Let's see. Going on down the list real quick. Does Auburn win against Alabama? Alabama favored by 3.
Yes. I think they do.
I think Auburn does too.
Where's the game being played?
It's at Auburn.
How do you like how the college football rankings this week set it up by switching 1 and 2?
Yeah.
So and then you've got the situation at 4 and 5 where
with 2 SEC
whoever
schools.
in the SEC loses, Alabama gets in, and then they switched the Ohio State in them so they wouldn't have that matchup. The 2 SEC schools playing in that matchup.
I made such a
so now it'll be
argument
1-4.
for Oregon
Ohio
last week,
State
and they go
SEC.
and lose. I made such an argument for Oregon last week, and they go and lose. Just my
you
luck.
did. That was terrible.
It was a
I
terrible
jinxed
game.
them.
That was the worst
jinxed them.
game Herbert's ever had.
Yeah.
Hey, this might be one of this. We got some matchups here. I'm happy about here in college football. I decided to play some teams this weekend.
This
some
is
teams.
a good matchup.
Number 12, Wisconsin, Mr. Big Ten, is favored by 3 on the road at Minnesota.
They'll beat Minnesota.
I think they will too. I don't know if Minnesota's ready for a pressure game like this.
33 to though they beat Penn State.
When they beat Penn State, the pressure really wasn't on them.
Yeah.
Now the pressure is on them.
30.
So, I mean, it's there. And
This
Wisconsin
is
has
what
been
winner
there.
gets in. This is what winner gets in the Big Ten championship.
But I tell you what, but that wide receiver from Minnesota is really
Yeah,
good.
he's
Gosh,
good.
his name, I
Their
can't remember his
quarterback's
name.
not
He's
bad
really good.
either.
Yeah,
So
he's
this
not
is
bad.
to get the Big Ten championship, Tom.
It is.
Okay.
Winner goes. Winner goes.
Winner
And
to
I
the
think
Big
it's gonna
Ten.
be Wisconsin.
All right. Baylor 9 at Kansas, favored by 14.
Baylor.
Penn State hosts Rutgers today. Penn
State's overrated.
All right,
but they win
Hunter.
this game.
Your Ducks
Yeah,
are
this
favored
is-
by 19.5, 25 degrees against the Beavers.
See, I can. This is at Oregon. If it was at Oregon State, I'd say, well, rivalry games are always played close, but it's at Oregon. I'm taking Oregon over Oregon State.
Oregon bounces back.
Notre Dame 16.5 favorites at Stanford.
They'll beat Notre Dame.
LSU 17-point favorites.
LSU will win.
Wait a minute, what did you just say, Terry? Stanford will beat Notre
Stanford
Dame.
will beat Notre Dame.
No.
That's what you just
That's
said.
what you said. You said they'll beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
The other way
Roll
around.
the tape.
Yeah.
He misspoke.
Tom, speaking of misspoken, have you asked Terry who he picked on the pregame show yesterday?
Who'd you pick on the pregame show?
I can't remember. It was yesterday.
Well, look at the hat he's wearing, first of all.
He slept since then.
Well, to ask him what he picked on the WLON game of the week.
What'd you pick on WO?
That was yesterday. We're talking college football today.
Did he pick the North Lincoln Knights? That's okay.
Yeah, he did.
It was a close game.
He's a homer. He's such
He
a
almost
homer.
got it.
He's
He
such
almost got
He
it.
tries to act like he's not, but he is.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey,
I come in, Tom, last night and asked Terry, how did the pregame picks go? And he turned around and walked down the hall, Hunter. He wanted nothing to do with it. He didn't even want to answer.
Let me guess, he picked West Lincoln, too.
No, he did
no,
not.
He's smarter than some people give him credit for.
He is smart. He's got a bit of an edge.
A&M at LSU. LSU favored by 17. Do the Aggie pride pull off the upset? Shock the world.
No, but
They're
they
terrible.
cover.
They're terrible.
Cover?
They cover.
Hunter
They
calls
cover.
the cover.
And
They
it's
will not
only
cover.
because LSU will get complacent late when they're up, and they'll have garbage time points. They did that against Ole Miss. Ole Miss covered. I can see A&M doing that.
23, Iowa State at Kansas State. It's probably a good
Iowa State
matchup.
will probably win
Iowa
on
State's
the road.
favored by 4.5 on the road. They're both 7 and 4.
It's hard to win in Manhattan,
It is.
Kansas.
But
It
didn't
is.
Kansas State beat somebody pretty good this year?
Kansas State beat
Oklahoma.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and it was in
That's 'cause
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma has no defense.
The Utes, 28-point favorites at home against Buffalo. Anybody got Buffalo? Anybody got
they're
the
gonna
Utah?
roll.
Buffalo?
Wow.
They said that Utah has 5 or 6 NFL players on their defense.
Shoot.
I haven't. That's the thing with us being on the East Coast. We don't get to watch Utah play, but everything I've heard about Utah,
You can
they
stay
say
up
they're
way late at
good.
night.
Yeah, but I don't really want
You
to.
flip between the NBA game and the,
What
and the
time?
Utah game.
What time's Utah coming on?
They usually play at
Today
like 10,
is
late
7:30, so you can get it tonight.
Might
There you
watch
go.
that. Might watch that.
Florida State at Florida, 11 Florida. They get beat by the Seminoles, who line up the wide receivers running backwards.
No,
Florida State's already bowl eligible, so this won't matter.
The Criminals, they lose.
The Criminals
The
lose.
Criminals.
Oklahoma State 8-3 today. Number 21 hosting number 7 Oklahoma. The Sooners are favored by 13.
This is a trap game for Oklahoma, not just as a rivalry game, but this is in Stillwater. This is at Oklahoma State. This is going to be tough to beat. I think Oklahoma State upsets Oklahoma. I do, and that's my only crazy pick out there.
When is Oklahoma's lack of defense going to burn them again? Could be today.
Could be today.
Is Hurts not playing?
Was he? I don't
Hurts
think. I think he's
Okay,
playing.
Oklahoma's winning it.
That was a
I mean, he
rhetorical
played
question.
against Kansas State.
He might though. He
Did
might.
someone say
He might be the toughest football player I've ever seen.
He
He's
is.
a tough
Hey, he
kid.
played against Kansas State, and they got beat at home. Now they're on the road in a rivalry game.
Jason Witten played with a ruptured spleen, I think, or lacerated
Yeah,
spleen.
Emmitt Smith played with dislocated shoulder.
And got 142 yards and won the ball game. You know who the best play in that game was, don't you, Terry? Do you remember it? The play fake.
Michael
Do
Jordan.
you remember
played
the
with
fake?
flu.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter, he jumped over the whole line on a goal line play fake with a separated shoulder and
Yes.
landed on his head to carry out the fake.
Yeah. His
The all-time
offensive
leading
linemen
rusher
were the guys
carrying
picking
out
him
a
up.
fake with a separated shoulder,
Josh
jumped over the line to carry out a
Josh
fake.
Allen dropped a snap, picked it up, and fought forward for a whole yard.
But we're talking college football.
For a first
all right,
down.
Clemson upset today, Hunter.
No.
Well, now wait a
no
minute.
way.
No.
Can Georgia beat Clemson?
Yes.
Well, then South Carolina can beat Clemson easy today, right? Because they walked the table with the Bulldogs.
I hate to tell you, Hunter, there's no way Georgia beats Clemson.
Look, he said, can they? They can. Georgia can beat anybody if they play to that level.
If Trevor Lawrence and ETN are abducted by aliens, yes, then maybe Georgia.
In Terry's words, is Trevor Lawrence playing?
Hey, listen, let me tell you something.
Not playing, I mean.
In the words of, which one of you said that Utah's got the 5 NFL players? We got a handful of NFL players for Georgia. So if that's what it takes to be a good team,
Hunter,
then,
y'all
hey,
the
man,
most overrated team in that top 4.
I can agree with that.
And they went- they
and
went-
I'll accept it. I mean, I can agree with
They
that.
went with Fromm over Field, so we appreciate
That was a joke,
We
and
appreciate that.
and that's a joke. I said that when he transferred, but that's for neither here nor there. Now they're the number 1 team in the nation with Justin Fields. So I lost
All right,
my
Tom,
mind.
big game of the day for you and everyone in the upper north. Michigan hosts Ohio State today. Does Jim Harbaugh get off the schneid? 11-0 Ohio State, number 1 team in the nation. 9.5-point favorites, Hunter. You
That's
cutting
too
the
low.
cover, anything?
That's too low. Ohio State wins at least
See,
by
but
2 touchdowns.
everybody thought that Ohio State's going to blow out Penn State. They're going to score 50 on them. I'm telling you, this is going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be close. I think Ohio State will win, but I think this is going to be close.
History has
Michigan-
shown the past 2 or 3 years Ohio State's blown out Michigan.
Yeah,
Last year
but-
they beat them 60.
They're-
Scored 60 points on them.
They're playing good ball and they're playing good defense. And Harbaugh's not. I'm just sorry. Franklin and his blocking scheme on Chase Young. I mean,
But
I
I'll
don't
be
know what
honest
they're-
with you, I don't think anybody really can block Chase Young.
JP, you ready?
What you're going to do is you're going to put an extra tackle over there and help out. That's what you're going to do.
So Michigan does not cover the spread, Hunter. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think Michigan
I
covers
think
the
it's
spread.
close. I think it's about a touchdown game. It's going to be close.
All right, guys. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to talk some Redskins football,
let's
some
not.
Cowboys,
That's a
some
JV
Browns,
team.
some Panthers, and more on KTCBroadcasting.com.
It's like 2 sales in 1. It's a 40th anniversary sale at Village Auto Sales in Gastonia and the after Thanksgiving sale at MS Power Sports in Gastonia. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join the Balls as we broadcast live this Saturday, November 30th from MS Power Sports in Gastonia and Village Auto Sales in Gastonia. We'll be set up right in the middle of both businesses with free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. And register to win some great prizes too, including free tickets to a Charlotte Hornets basketball game, free rounds of golf at Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, free $25 gift card to the Firestone Grill in Gastonia, Boss t-shirts, and more. And check out the great deals like half down and half down later at Village Auto Sales. And 19% off MSRP on all 2019 units in stock at MS Power Sports. So plan now to be there for the fun. That's this Saturday, November 30th at Village Auto Sales, 4810 Wilkinson Boulevard, and MS Power Sports, 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard, both located side by side in Gastonia. It's like 2 sales in 1. It's a 40th anniversary sale at Village Auto Sales in Gastonia and the after Thanksgiving sale at MS Power Sports in Gastonia. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join the Balls as we broadcast live this Saturday, November 30th from MS Power Sports in Gastonia and Village Auto Sales in Gastonia. We'll be set up right in the middle of both businesses with free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. And register to win some great prizes too, including free tickets to a Charlotte Hornets basketball game, free rounds of golf at Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, free $25 gift card to the Firestone Grill in Gastonia, Boss t-shirts, and more. And check out the great deals like half down and half down later at Village Auto Sales. And 19% off MSRP on all 2019 units in stock at MS Power Sports. So plan now to be there for the fun. That's this Saturday, November 30th at Village Auto Sales, 4810 Wilkinson Boulevard, and MS Power Sports, 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard, both located side by side in Gastonia. Christmas is a time for kids, and once again this year, Renato Auto Mall in Shelby is working to make this Christmas a little brighter for the underprivileged kids in our area with their annual Christmas toy drive. Now through December 14th, you are invited to bring a new unwrapped Christmas toy and drop it off. For Toys for Tots, drop it off at Renato Honda, and for the Salvation Army, drop it off at Renato Kia. Better yet, drop a toy off at both locations. Help make this Christmas a little brighter during the annual toy drive at Renato Honda and Renato Kia, both at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Are you having sleep issues, anxiety, depression, or chronic pain? You could benefit from CBD oil. Task Drug in Cherryville carries the Nana Professional, a full-spectrum CBD oil line. It's 100% legal and the very best and most trusted CBD oil on the market today. Let the knowledgeable pharmacy staff at Task Drug show you more about CBD oil and how you can easily incorporate it into your daily routine. CBD oil can help you or someone you love. Just ask the CBD oil experts at Task Drug, 500 West Church Street in Cherryville.
Here's a great fall special from the new Main Street Tire and Lube in downtown Cherryville. Now you can get an emissions inspection for only $25 this month. But that's not all. Get a safety inspection for just $10. Both offers end November 30th. So hurry in now to make sure your car or truck is ready for the winter. They're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. till 5:30 p.m., Saturday, 7:30 a.m. till 1 p.m. Call 704-769-8201 for Main Street Tire and Lube, 300 East Main Street, downtown Cherryville.
Is the cost of ink driving your profits down? Then listen up. Discount Ink Jet and Toner is here to help. Discount Ink Jet and Toner specializes in refilling ink jet and toner cartridges. Cut your ink costs by as much as 50% or more. Discount Ink Jet and Toner, located on 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
Carolina. And welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're eventually come on. I don't know.
What, JP? We're too busy not listening to you. What'd you say?
Exactly. I just said whenever they turn.
Listen, JP, you need to learn two phrases, and it'll get you ingratiated in the sports world. Okay?
Ingratiated.
You ready?
That's the worst.
The first one is Dez caught it.
No.
Right, Terry?
No. Exactly.
Dez caught it. If you can remember that, you'll be able to cover a lot of sports.
The second one is MJ is the GOAT.
Well, that too. The second one is Pittsburgh started it. Okay. So if you can remember Dez caught it and Pittsburgh started it,
they did start
it. Then that's all you need to know.
And then playoffs.
About NFL football.
Playoffs.
And crown them.
Yeah, Pittsburgh says we can make it. Y'all cannot.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let me explain the playoff situation in the NFL real quick, and then we will talk. We'll talk about our specific teams and what's going on. So let's look over in the NFC to start. In the NFC, the only team to clinch so far in the whole NFL is the team I picked to win the Super Bowl the last 3 years. The last two have been heartbreaks, the New Orleans Saints. 10-2 on the season. They're actually in the 2 seed. The 1 seed is still San Francisco 49ers at 10-1 right now. Of course, they play Sunday instead of they didn't play Thursday. Packers are in the 3 seed at 8-3.
How about them Niners?
Cowboys. Well, yeah,
them Cowboys?
we gave Will his mess. Cowboys in the 4 seed.
That's a joke.
Seahawks in the 5, and Vikings in the 6 seed. So if the playoffs started today,
5 and 6,
Minnesota
3-2 games ahead of Dallas.
Minnesota. Dallas is 3 games behind the 5 seed, and they're the 4 seed. The 6 seed Minnesota Vikings will be traveling to Green Bay for a division matchup, and the Seahawks would be going to Dallas today, and of course the byes would be San Francisco and New Orleans. Rams are 2 games out of the playoffs right now behind Minnesota. Bears at 6-6, 2.5 behind Minnesota right now, and the Eagles. They're more concerned with the Panthers. I mean, not Panthers, with the Cowboys. They're 5-6, and the Cowboys are 6-6. So they're going. That's going to be a division.
You're telling me there's still a chance for Washington? All they got to do is keep losing,
Hunter,
and we win. Actually,
if you guys win out, you could win the division. If Philadelphia loses 3 games, y'all could win the division if you win out.
No, we won't chase
Terry,
Young.
If the Redskins still. Hey, believe in that Ohio State quarterback. He's going to make the comeback, right?
No, well, yeah. What I've seen out of
you and Tom's in the same boat on this one.
I thought he's looked. I'm not saying he's looking great right now, but he's shown a chance that he's getting better.
Do you want to talk about what happened?
What?
Do you want to talk about what he did, Terry?
Oh, about how he
How he
had
missed
the
the
selfie
kneel
and missed
down.
the
Did you
kneel
see
down.
that?
Joe Theismann was up
Terry,
in
did you
arms
see
about
it?
that. And I,
Yeah, when he went over to the side, but they talk about complete games, and that took a complete game away from him.
Yeah, he didn't
because I
complete the
needed
game.
to have a selfie.
Well, I think that it shows immaturity on
It
his
does.
part, and then
It
I
does.
think
Young
I think
quarterbacks are
I think it
funny
also is
sometimes.
an example of how the media overblows.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's an example of both.
I think it. I think
his job.
He's
Hey,
after taking a
wait a
knee,
minute.
Tom.
It's
Terry,
his
listen to me.
job.
They overblew that. It's
Oh,
nothing.
I'm sorry. I pressed the wrong button to set this missile off.
Hey guys, to win this game, I need someone
To
to
take a
run out on the
knee.
field, take a snap, and take a knee. Where's my
God, we could
quarterback?
have put Adrian Peterson under there to take
Where's
a
my
knee.
quarterback? Oh,
Well,
he's over in the
line-
stands taking selfies.
Line up in the Wildcat. I mean, I don't care. That ain't a big
Okay.
deal for me.
The optics
Look
of it
bad.
are bad. The
Yeah.
optics are bad because it makes you look like a 15-year-old girl. I understand that.
Now, let
But
me tell you
it's
something.
just-
If he's losing and
it's
we're
just-
having to have a final play, I'm just saying,
Right,
take
you guys
a
act
selfie.
like it was like 50-0. He walks in the locker room with 3 minutes left to go. I mean, that's kind of the way they act.
Tom,
How do you feel if you're Case
it's
Keenum?
still his
Do what?
job.
I thought if you take the final kneel, you win the game. Case Keenum just win,
what's
don't he?
Case Keenum's salary?
He got the win, like $10 million.
So you, look, son, we're paying you $10 million. Go out there and take a snap while we can get dumb out here and who's done embarrassing
That's hilarious.
I mean, you embarrassed
Hey,
yourself.
but look,
there.
is
I
that
might
not an
be on your
indictment?
side on a few other things, but that's his job.
Terry,
Don't be taking
Hey,
selfies
Terry.
During the game.
People in the stand.
Terry,
During the game.
Terry, I'm not disagreeing with you. The optics
What number is
are
he?
horrible.
He's
But
7.
it's just-
Hey, we're 7.
Listen, hey, but
You
is
know,
that
all the
not-
coaches were yelling.
Is that not an indictment on the organization that he plays for?
Well, that's true.
So Hunter
Hey,
is blaming.
Washington, man. Let me tell you something.
It's the owner's fault
yes.
They're
that the
acting
quarterback
they're acting
was
like
taking
this-
selfies.
Yes.
They're acting like this kid went out and murdered
No,
somebody.
well, that's
No.
no.
Well,
That's,
okay, Tom. We'll walk it back. I understand. Let's say he was eating a hot dog. Well, no matter what he was doing,
Yeah,
he was
it's a bad
supposed to be
Yes.
on the field
Kevin,
taking a knee,
Kevin.
right?
but he did it, and we won.
Have established this that the optics are bad.
I think it's hilarious. I'm not mad about it. I just
We
think it's
did
funny.
it, and
I
we
think it's
won,
hilarious.
and now we're
That's right. It's more funny,
Right.
and embarrassing. It's the equivalent of you walk out.
I'm not
of the back-
offended by it at
Yeah,
all.
like-
I think
like-
it's hilarious.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I kind of
Yeah.
wanted us to lose that game
Tom,
because now
for me,
there's no
it's a
guarantee we
Redskins
got
quarterback.
the
So
second
it's
pick.
the dang hilarious thing I've ever seen is watching a Redskins quarterback over here do this.
I mean,
All right,
it's-
we
I'm a
spent
Bill-
too
hey,
much time on
I'm
those
a
kids.
Bills fan
We spent
now,
too
it
much
don't
time on
matter.
them. All right, in the AFC, Patriots are the 1 seed. Terry,
They'll remain there.
they'll be hosting the Ravens if the Ravens can make it there. In the first round, if the playoffs started today, it would be the third-string quarterbacked Duck Steelers are in the playoffs. The
They
actual
won't- they're-
Steelers
they're not
are
gonna be
in the playoffs right now at 6-5. They would be going to Houston. Bills at 9-3 would be going to Kansas
Let me
City.
tell you
Terry, who
something.
would you pick in that game?
Kansas City don't want to see nothing of Buffalo.
Now wait a minute, Terry. You said
They
Kansas
really
City's
don't.
trash all year. Buffalo just beat your Cowboys, so is Buffalo the favorite to beat Kansas City then?
still hadn't won that division. Oakland's right there.
Oh, so
But
you're
even,
saying Kansas City
but
won't even be
even
there?
even still, do you pick Oakland over Buffalo? I think Buffalo gets first round win this year.
Terry, Oakland just benched their quarterback. They benched him.
Well, they were getting beat. Like
If you don't
30 to
have
30.
solid quarterback play, you're
I agree with that with anything, whether it's high school, college, or whatever.
If you are questioning who your quarterback is, don't even worry about
Yeah,
the play.
North Carolina
And here's
State's
the thing.
did that all year.
And here's the thing with Kansas City too.
We forgot
Kansas
to pick
City,
that game.
Kansas City is weak on the run game. Buffalo's done a great job with the Singletary and Frank Gore tandem that they've got in the
They're
backfield.
good.
running
They're just
the
in the
ball.
Patriots
And
division.
they've got the third best defense in the league.
Yeah.
Kansas City is the typical buy a ticket and we'll give you a show, but they're not. I got to be with Terry on this one. They're not.
All right, Tommy.
Yeah, but does that mean you would have Buffalo beating Kansas City then in the first round?
I don't know. Buffalo has
I just wonder if Buffalo can score points.
couldn't score enough points. Or
They
defense
scored
is
26.
I mean,
better.
Mahomes is going to score.
They just scored 26.
You know,
Josh Allen's a little, I don't know. A lot of people are high on him, but the book is pressure him, right? He's got one of the lowest quarterback ratings under pressure. You know who's the lowest in the league? I like to say it again. Tom Brady is the lowest QBR on the run.
We've always known that about him, though.
Yeah.
Like every time he got beat in the Super Bowl, he's pressured up the middle. So we've always known Tom.
I think it's
that's that don't mean nothing to me as far as Tom
since
goes. but
last
the rest
month
of them,
though. Josh Allen now has got 13-1 or 13-2 interception, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Like, he's getting better throwing the ball, and he's actually the second best running quarterback in the league behind Lamar Jackson.
The way he runs the ball.
It's Cam.
And no, hold on, I'm going older for you. I'm going what you don't know. The way he runs the ball. I'm not saying he's going to have the success of him, but the way he runs the ball and his cannon arm reminds me of young John Elway. Elway used to run a lot when he was early, and a lot of people didn't think he was going to make it because he threw it too hard and couldn't hit those receivers. Can't play. Lost 3 Super Bowls before he won 2 with a good defense and a good running game. But it reminds me a lot of a young. I'm not saying he's John Elway, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. What I'm saying is, with the way he runs it and the way that he's got that cannon arm, that's a lot of Elway.
I want you to think about that. The two guys that are having the most success out of last year's draft class, and I'm not trying to, but I said I would have taken Josh Allen last year at the number 1 pick. That was me. Right now, the ones that are having the most success is Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Josh Rosen and Baker, it's still questionable right now.
I'm gonna give, even though he's had his struggles. I watched that game, Chicago and Detroit. Trubisky finally looked like a number 1 pick in that game. I mean, he
had 3 touchdowns.
I mean, it's like, because I watched it, I said, well, let's see Trubisky screw this one up. I mean, he actually started to
They
look
came
like,
back from, what were they, 12 down?
But he threw a couple in a bucket.
All right, Tom, here's your wild card situation now. Let's break this AFC down. We only got a few minutes. Browns are at 5-6, 1 game out of a playoff spot. The team that's ahead of them in the playoff spot is the Steelers, who they play tomorrow with their 3rd-string quarterback.
Yeah, I said that, but Cleveland played Denver with their 3rd-string quarterback and got beat. So I mean, it's just one of those things, man.
Even if Cleveland wins, though, but the schedule's set up, if they win, they're not in the playoffs this week because 2 other teams that are tied with are actually playing each other.
Right.
So Colts and Titans are playing each other. So whoever wins that game, if the Browns win Sunday, they're in the playoffs.
So you got to pull for the Colts because the Titans have beaten the Browns, so they'd have the tiebreaker.
Okay, so there you go for that. So the Browns fans need to be pulling for the Colts. So the Browns are 1 game out of the playoff spot, and even if they win, no matter what, they'll still be 1 game out next week by Colts or Titans. So they're still going to be 1 game out next week. But after that week, with 2 games left in the season, they could be a hold and control of the final playoff spot.
They could, but I tell you, they got to play Baltimore, and they have to go out to Arizona and play them, who's lost 4 in a row, but they're playing good ball. Kyler Murray's playing good ball.
They got 2 Bengals games. Andy Dalton's coming back.
Is this going to be an Andy Dalton revenge game?
Well, I mean, you have to be scared of it. You'd rather be playing their backups. Andy Dalton's he's not terrible. He's quality enough to win football games. So if he comes back and gets hot, you never know. So they got 2 Bengals games, a Cardinals, and a Ravens.
I think they want that number 1 pick. I think they're just going to say, let's try and not win.
Just lose. Oh, you talking about the Bengals?
I think it's really. I think they gave Cleveland a 22% chance of making it. I think that's
it's not high, and I agree with you on the Cardinals thing. It's not going to be easy going out there. Their record is not as good as they've played.
What's the line for Pittsburgh?
1 point. Cleveland. This is the first time Cleveland's been favored at Pittsburgh in 27 years.
So it's a 1 point.
So it's been forever since they beat them twice in a year.
They haven't beaten them since the 80s twice. It's been this is a big game this is a big game.
And
for
plus,
their
after
franchise.
what you did to Pittsburgh last game, where it was your fault.
No, Terry.
It's like we've never don't know anything about self-defense. Know nothing about that. If I'm walking down the street,
Terry,
and
shirt is right.
If I'm walking down,
Miles Garrett was wrong.
If I'm walking down the street,
the shirt's right.
If I'm walking down the street and a guy tries to rip my hat off, I have the right to rip his hat off.
But you can't yank it all the way up.
Then, if he kicks me in the midsection, I can slap him with his own hat. Man rules. If you get hit in the if someone kicks you in the man area, you can do whatever. That's man rules. That's what I've always.
It's just like
that's true.
It's like
if someone kicks you in the man region,
I agree 100%.
And he already ripped your helmet off.
I see black, man. I'm out of body.
He was backing up, Tom. He was backing up.
Yeah. You must be polite in this world that we live in.
He was backing up with 3 people attacking
Except
him.
on the football field.
Jets at Bengals. Jets favored by 3.
Dude, I think the Jets are gonna blow the Bengals out. I'm sorry.
Titans at Colts. Colts favored by 1.5.
I like the Colts.
I'm taking the Colts.
Why did they put the weather on the Colts game? It's going to be 44 degrees outside.
Because people still tailgate, Kevin.
Oh, is that for the tailgate?
We are.
Yeah.
Go Dolphins.
Eagles at Dolphins. Terry, you picking the Dolphins?
I'm picking the Dolphins.
I'm taking the Dolphins to cover a 10-point spread.
Oh, okay.
I know the Eagles. They are so
that's
injured. It's not even funny.
That's what
Even
you said.
Carson Wentz is hurt.
You said they'd cover at Cleveland too, Hunter.
Yeah, well,
Tom, in 2 weeks.
that's a Fitzpatrick thing. I'm like, hey, at any moment he can catch fire.
In 2 weeks, Tommy.
Yes,
we could be coming. We could be coming back in here, and
No wonder he's still playing.
Yeah.
we can come back here in 2 weeks, folks, and the Cowboys could be out of the playoffs, and the Browns be in control of their own destiny.
You're right, but
In
if
2
they
weeks.
lose tomorrow
In 2
against the
weeks. Make a break.
Steelers, they are
That's
totally
it.
out.
Forget about it. And then Freddie Kitchens' watch begins.
Browns
If they
favored by
lose.
2 in Cleveland.
No, it's not in Cleveland.
I mean Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna say like Freddie's playing. Freddie's got to coach for his job here. I mean, if he loses this game, he might not have a job.
But this is a Mike Tomlin coach
You're
Steelers team.
exactly right.
And I hate to say it because I like the Browns and I think that they were going to have a great season. And in their standards, this is still a pretty good season, not what everybody was hoping. But I'm about to take the Steelers at home.
Browns by 20 points. It's gonna be a blowout.
I like
Redskins
I like the Browns.
at Panthers.
And you're playing Duck.
Hunter. Redskins at Panthers.
Yeah, we lose by 15.
You can get a ticket as low as $35 to this game.
That's ugly. 66 degrees and
They were
rainy.
$8 in Washington, wasn't they, last
they were.
week?
For Detroit and Washington. Yeah.
It is going to be a beautiful day tomorrow, maybe with a little rain, it looks like. But 66 degrees is, I'll take
Man,
that.
let me tell you.
Skins and Panthers.
Why? I just picked up the Panthers defense in fantasy, so if that tells you anything.
Oh, my gosh.
They're going to.
Dude, they're like
Panthers are going to win.
26th.
Yeah, but the Washington can't score. They didn't even. They scored 1 touchdown last week.
And another thing I want to speak of, Tampa Bay. Don't forget it. We talked about Atlanta, how good they look.
They
Tampa
got beat
Bay
by
beats
Tampa
them.
Bay. So
I
I'm gonna
think
take
Terry called
Panthers.
that last week.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Dude, look. I'll be first to admit it. Atlanta gave you a 2-game mirage of what they could be, and then came back down to earth.
The
and I fell
NFC
for
South
it.
has always been just stupid sometimes. It just really has. It never makes any sense.
But they all can beat up on each other. That's what's so crazy. The Buccaneers are 4-7, and they could beat the
All right,
Saints.
rematch of the Harbaugh Bowl. 49ers into Baltimore. Baltimore favored by 5 at home. I thought that would be a 3.
It's a West Coast team going east. But
Don't like
here's
that.
the thing. The 49ers defense is very, very good. I love watching Lamar, but I'm going to take the 49ers. I had them as a wild
All I
card.
got on it, mostly going to be saying, I saw him scared. I could see it, like if I was playing Mayfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to have Lamar shook. Tom?
Yeah, I like Baltimore at home. That's a tough
You
task.
can't wear a brown shirt.
And
then
I
pick
can agree
Baltimore
with you. I
Ravens.
can say this. I think
look,
that's
at any
I think that's
time,
Super Bowl.
I am a paid sports analyst. Okay?
Hey, I
I'm
think
not a fan of Rams
I can't be a fan
at
for the
Cardinals.
Ooh, that's big. Rams got to have this.
They're favored by 3.
Yeah,
Dude,
they
let me
gotta
tell you
have
something. It's at Cardinals. I'm going to take Arizona.
It
I think
wouldn't
the Rams have
surprise
got I think the Rams have a true problem.
They got to win out. You got to win almost 10 games to make. You got to win 10 games to make the playoffs in the East.
If the Rams lose this game, is it panic mode?
Yeah,
It's big panic.
it's right now. They got to win out almost. Chargers at Broncos. Chargers by 3.
Chargers.
Skip over those losers.
I-
Raiders at Chiefs, Terry. Chiefs
Raiders
by
at the Chiefs.
11.
Come on, Raiders. This is your opportunity.
Chiefs by
Knock
11.
them boys
Chiefs.
out of the playoffs.
Chiefs. Unfortunately, because I would like to pull for the Raiders. Here's the thing, too, though. Fun fact about the Denver. I heard on a podcast that they've activated Drew Lock off of IR, the one that they took in the second round this year. So we might not be seeing Brandon Allen start for the Broncos. They might be on their 3rd quarterback this year because Elway is fishing, trying to find someone to replace Peyton Manning. He's just fishing. I think he's on his 5th quarterback since Peyton Manning's gone. Whew.
Patriots at Texans. Any upsets?
No.
Only favored by 3. They don't score that much. Texans could put up
I think in a dome, I think this is going to play into
Patriots
Tom
on
Brady.
the road.
in
Yeah.
Houston.
I like Texans. I like the
I'm going
Texans.
to take the Patriots.
Patriots can't score.
Vikings at Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 3 on Monday night. That should be a good ball game. It'll probably be a blowout one way or another. That's how it usually happens on Monday.
Seahawks playing who?
For
Vikings
Will,
hosting
for
the
Will
Vikings.
and all them, they hope the Seahawks
Well,
win.
Kirk Cousins is about 5-28 against winning teams. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
I'm
going
to take Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. The
You're
Vikings
taking Kirk Cousins
Yeah.
in Seattle.
The Vikings are
In
the
Seattle.
Vikings
games in
defense.
Seattle.
The Vikings defense is better
That's probably
than Seattle's
Cowboys
defense.
0-4 this season against teams that enter the game with a winning record. Buffalo
0-5.
8-3, 0-5 now. This is before the Buffalo game. If the Cowboys beat all the teams that don't have winning records and lose to the ones that do, they would finish the season at 9-7 and win the NFC East by a tiebreaker.
You got it.
With the Eagles.
You got it.
So the Cowboys can make the playoffs this
You
year
better
without
not slip
beating a
up.
single team
With a winning record.
with
And
a
then
winning
we'll beat Seattle.
record.
And
And
then
then we'll
we'll-
start beating all the teams with winning records.
No.
That's Terry's plan.
I saw somewhere.
That's a heck of a plan, Terry.
You have, I was gonna say, you have a chance of playing either Seattle or Minnesota, and you don't want to see Minnesota again.
Minnesota didn't have nothing on us.
No, that's except a nice hot.
All right, guys, we
W.
got to get out of here way over time. Had a great time this week. Next Friday night, obviously, we'll be having state championship advancement game for Burns and Shelby. One of them will be in the state championship. That'll be at Wake Forest the next week. We don't know the time. Kings Mountain will be at Charlotte Catholic, the winner of that. We've had a lot of matchups between those two teams last few years, Terry. The winner of that will get to go play at NC State. Thomas Jefferson, if they win, we're not going to have that game this week. If they win, they will be going to Duke. East Lincoln tonight, Tom, we talk, is going up to Asheville to AC Reynolds tonight for a coaches versus cancer shootout in AC Reynolds. All proceeds go to the American Cancer Society at 7 p.m. at UNC Asheville, $10. We will be back next week. We'll have, once again, like I said, Kings Mountain at Charlotte Catholic and Shelby at Burns. We'll talk about the pregame show logistics. We may be out there. I don't know. It just depends. I got to go to Charlotte Catholic probably, maybe. That may put a hindrance on that. I'm not sure. So we'll talk about all that, get with you guys this week. Stay tuned to KTC Broadcasting, Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter and on and our website as always. We'll see you next week. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Temperatures today will head into the upper 40s.